going, everyone? ADC Art Attack here. Welcome, ADC Game Attack. I'm on my gaming channel. How are we doing, everyone? Welcome to a brand new stream where I'm going to be teaching. I'm not going to be teaching you. I'm going to be doing a drawing, and hopefully it's going to work out. So nervous. I am so nervous. Let me pause this and make sure that I am not distracting myself with video stuff. Hopefully it all looks good. Hopefully everyone can see me. This is a big step for me. This is something different. This was so different to doing my Twitch streams, which, by the way, if you are not following, my Twitch is down below in the description of this video. And yeah, I stream on Twitch pretty regularly. In fact, 5 days a week. And his name is Bob. Hey, how's it going, chat? By the way, if you are watching this on a playback, we are live right now. Or we were live in the past. So check the live chat and you'll see what's going on. You'll see that we're chatting to people and we're talking. I'm not just talking to myself. Sometimes I talk to myself. Most days I talk to myself, but today I'm not talking to myself. Today I'm speaking to those guys. So, hi everyone in chat. If you are there, say hi. Hello. How you doing? How's things today? Welcome. Today we're going to be drawing Spyro the Dragon, which is a fan favorite character. I love the character. You love the character. And I wanted to draw something that was gaming. What is this? Things popping up on my screen. I wanted to do something that was gaming related. So, what better thing to do than one of my favorite games of all time, Spyro. Now, I am going to be teaching you as I draw, how I draw. But for the most part, this is going to be a sort of watch and learn type thing, rather than me explaining every single step of the way. Wow, there are so many people in chat. Hi. We did not just get time. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you so much for, there it is, time. Thank you so much, time. Just a heads up for everyone who is watching this. Twitch alerts, Twitch notifications, including subs, bits, stuff like that, are available on the Twitch channel. So if you do want to do stuff like that and have it pop up on screen, you gotta go over to the Twitch channel, which is down below in the description of this video. So, switching over to my... Can I do it? There we go. Switching to the art cam. This is what you came to see. Look at this. This is what you guys got last time. Now, I don't have my chat up on this screen, so I'm gonna have to bounce between screens here, which is a little bit unfortunate. I've sort of got a... I've only got a one screen setup over here, so I gotta jump back and forth every time something happens. But, right. You have no snacks. Oh no, Esme. You gotta get snacks. It's Spyro time. You're damn right. Exactly, Mark. It is Spyro time. And, yeah, these drawings from my last video, which we like this one very much. Oh, by the way, can everyone hear me okay? Is the audio clear? Is the visuals, does it look pretty? Do I look pretty? How does it? Do I look pretty? I think that's the most important part of this. Do I look pretty? How am I? Am I beautiful? I'm not going to say it. Twitch is, you guys who come from my Twitch channel, you're waiting for me to say, it's not happening. I'm not saying it. The audio is fine. Fantastic. Killer. Right, so let me make sure that I've got this all set up. Apologies once again, I am using a one monitor setup right here because I do have other screens working in the background, and this is not my main setup. But I'm going to start things off with a little pencil sketch here. Your beautiful diamond, thank you so much. It's Pikachu. You know what? When I did that video, a lot of people didn't catch on that that was a joke. Is this going to happen the entire... I'm going to be jumping back and forth. Charlie, thank you so much, Charlie. You are an absolute legend. Guys, it means a lot. Actually, I'll tell you what I could do. I could bring this up on my screen here, and then I can see everything that's happening. Apologies for this really, I don't know, I guess, like, budget setup here, but it is a budget setup. Okay, so I pause it like that. No, that means I have to play... Okay, so I have to play it. And then I click the live thing, and now it should be live. And now I should be able to see things when they pop up on screen. Okay, I broke it. Okay, I've broken everything. Wait. Wait. Wait, I think it's working. Let me refresh it. Sorry, oh my word. If you're watching this on playback right now, you're probably thinking, God, can you just skip forward? Can you just jump forward, please? All right, we're going to leave it like this so I can see everything. I'm going to hide the... not a pin message is fine. We can see all that. I can see chat. I can see everything. Cool. This is good. All right, so let's get started with our drawing of... Spyro. So, I have a reference here where I'm going to be doing a little skibbity sketch of Spyro, and the way that I start my drawings, this is officially the start of the video, this is the start of the live stream, which isn't going to be a structured stream, by the way. This isn't going to be a sort of how I'm drawing tutorial type thing. This is just going to be a draw with me, and throughout it, I'll be talking to you about what it is I'm doing. Yeah, this is going to Oh my gosh, Killer, thank you so much for the bits. Right. I'm not sure how long it takes for it to pop up on the screen, but Killer, you are an absolute legend. I'm going to have to bounce back and forth between these things. I should have set this up better. I should have made sure that I could see all of this, but I don't have a second monitor, unfortunately. Yeah. Sorry. I apologize. It's just hard to, like, keep everything... you know what I could do, actually? Hang on a moment, guys. This is the worst. I am the worst. I am the worst, but you guys are the best. Time! Right, here we go. I've got my stream. I can view it like this. I've got it. There we go. I can see chat over here. That's good. So if I just do this and put my device here. Killer, thank you so much. Alright, we are good to go. You guys are legends. By the way, if you are wondering what's going on with all those alerts, they are coming from the Twitch channel, which is linked down below in the description of this video. You can check it out over there. You can subscribe over there. You can do bits. You can do whatever. We stream on Twitch regularly, 5 days a week. Maybe more, maybe less. Depends. Apologies for that. My thing was just playing. Are we good? Right, I'm gonna start now. I feel so bad for anyone who is watching this on playback. My apologies. We're gonna start right now. I promise, I'm a professional. My streams are professional. This isn't professional. Hi, Sinead. How are you doing? All right, so. Oh, yeah. By the way, guys, change your chat to all messages or live chat so that you can see everything that's coming through. Right, so let's do this. Okay. Do-do-do-do. I'm not sure what the music is all about, by the way. It's a little bit like elevator music, lounge music. It's quite nice, actually. It's quite relaxing. My chat is on live. Yes, sir. I just remembered to do that. Guys, please check your chat is on live chat. Right. I'm going to get started now because I feel like I have just bored everyone. Let's go. So, whenever I do my drawings, guys, I always start with the roughest sketch known to man. Just to get a little bit of a placement here. Zesha, thank you so much for the subscription. Guys, we are actually trying to grind out the partnership program over here on YouTube. So that is why we are streaming here today. And every now and then we'll be doing some gaming-related streams on this platform, or gaming-related art streams on this platform. It is a stream-based, I guess, channel right now. There are videos coming, but for now it's predominantly a stream-based channel. And yeah, so what I'm doing right here, when I'm drawing these characters, is I'm breaking them down into the most simplistic forms that I can. So when I'm looking at an image and when I'm copying a drawing for all intents and purposes, I'm copying here. What I'm doing is I'm just looking for the most simplistic shapes that I can get in them. Normally, I wouldn't do this on paper itself. I wouldn't really be doing this if I was drawing for myself. It was like a private drawing. But when I'm showing you guys what I'm doing, I'm going to give you a visual representation of what I'm doing. But if I'm doing it myself, I'd be doing it in my head. I'd be breaking it down in my head and placing it like that. So just be aware that the process usually takes place inside the mind of the artist, not so much on the canvas itself. And this should be good. I think we're gonna not do this as a tutorial though, because I really don't want to do a structured live stream. I don't think it suits me. I think I'm like a little bit of a weirdo, so we're gonna be like. Hey Lizzle, how you doing? Thank you so much. Hello from Canada. Hello, how are you, Pray? Wow, we've got so many people in chat right now. You guys are fantastic. Everyone who's supporting me over here, it means the world to me. Thank you all so much. We do obviously do gaming streams on this channel, but now and then we'll be doing some of these art streams. And yeah, so the purpose of the base sketch anyway, whenever I'm doing this, is I'm literally just looking to plan out the scale of the drawing. It's not so much get the accuracy of the drawing and get the areas. I really don't like this music. It's like kind of in my head. There we go. But yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out like the scale of the drawing, what kind of space it's occupying, where I'm drawing it, yada yada yada. I'm not really too bothered about the accuracies of the proportions and stuff like that, because I think proportions are yours to make your own. They're yours to change depending on the dynamicness of the character you're drawing. So when I'm drawing someone like Spider-Man, Miles or something, I like to elongate the arms, I like to change some of those features and make them look a little bit more dynamic. So I wouldn't worry too much or hyper-focus too much on this process. A lot of people do get stuck on this and let it grind them down and bring them down when they're doing it. But you don't have to worry too much about it. I think this is the fun part. This is the freedom part. This is the mess around part. This is the do whatever you want part. So yeah, do whatever you guys want. And I can see you guys in the chat right now on the Twitch chat spamming the emotes. Now just keep in mind that I cannot see the Twitch chat. I can only see what you guys are doing in terms of the emotes and stuff like that. But yeah, the Twitch chat is active. Hi, you inspire me so much. Logans, thank you so much. AKA, how are you doing? Wow, you guys are fantastic. You love Bob. You know what? Bob hasn't featured in a while. So Bob's featured on the streams or on in the videos, sorry, briefly now and then, just sort of popping up or in the intros. Hasn't really done much recently. I gotta figure out a way. Charlie, thank you so much for the bits, Charlie. The support is incredible. Amazing support from everyone. Thank you all so much. How is everyone doing though? we're gonna cut the tutorial side of the stream, and I think we're not gonna be able to manage it. It's way too awesome. I think we're just gonna have a little bit of fun here and enjoy our times. So yeah, the tutorial side of this has definitely gone out the window. How are we all doing today? But we love Bob. You know what? I love Bob too. Bob is amazing. Bob is fantastic. I've got to get some Bob things going on when I do my streams. And by the way, I do have actually have a headache, which is why I didn't stream yesterday on my Twitch channel. I have a headache and it's still there. So it is still lingering, but fortunately it's just enough that I can stream. And if the headache does get worse, obviously I'll stop the stream. But for now, totally fine. Don't need to worry about it too much. I think I might upscale this head as well. This is exactly why we do the rough drawings. Whenever you're doing a pencil sketch like this, make sure your lines are as rough and as free as possible, because you can start to see the holes in your drawing and the flaws in your drawing. And when you're copying an image, especially when you're at my level of art, when you're a professional artist, it should be an easy process to copy a drawing. So, we'll see how this goes. I'm going to embarrass myself here. I will be doing this in full color as well. So I'll be doing an actual drawing today. Hopefully you'll like that. Bob Intense Styles. So I'll tell you what. I don't actually do my original characters in videos or in style videos and stuff like that, because when you're playing the game of YouTube is about being seen, getting views, getting noticed, and you can't afford to do the things that you want to do necessarily. You can do what you want to do, but you can't do the things that interest you or interest a small demographic of people. You have to make sure that you're reaching a broader audience and that anyone who clicks on your video can find worth in your video. So doing original stuff like that, it's very difficult to do that, and that's why I sort of leave it for my streams, which I did do in the past, and we will be bringing those back. But yeah, we do original stuff as well. We mess around. Recently, we've been doing a sketchbook sessions where we've been going through my favorite things. I've been sketching out my favorite characters, having a good time doing that stuff, and it's been fantastic. So just really loving streaming right now. I think streaming is just an amazing place to be. It's fantastic. The communities of streaming are incredible. Getting to know so many new people is amazing. Getting to talk to you guys is incredible as well. I get to actually socialize with you, which is fantastic, because as a YouTuber, we don't really get to interact with people too much. We spend most of our time behind the comment sections or making the video, and then the video gets posted, and then we move on with our day, because it's a job at the end of the day. So when you make your content, it's very hard to stay involved in that. I do spend the first 48 hours, I'm in the comment section. So whenever you make a comment, you'll notice that I heart most comments and I respond to most comments within the first 48 hours. That is a way of me saying, make sure you have the alerts turned on, because I will mention you or respond to you in that time. But it's very hard thereafter, because the comments start to get flooded in with other videos. They get mixed in. It's really, really hard to see who's making what comment, what's coming from where, and staying on top of all of that stuff when you get, I have a catalog of like 300 videos. So when the comments go onto those videos, it's just a big jumble, and it's really hard to respond to every comment, because some of them are outdated. So some of them are referencing something in a video that just doesn't have any meaning right now, and to respond to it would be pointless when it's asking me what paper am I using, and maybe I've moved on from that. So it's just pointless to respond to things like that. So I try to stay on the relevant topics and the relevant videos. So yeah, make sure you have the alerts turned on for all my channels, and I'll be able to get into the comment and respond to you, and that'll be fantastic. You're incredibly responsive. It's great. I try to be. I mean, the good thing is, whenever I get to respond to viewers' comments and the things that you guys say, is I get to eat cake while I do it. So that's fantastic. So every time that I make a video, I go to the shops, I buy myself cake, I buy myself some snacks, and I'll sit in bed and I'll respond to you guys at night. So I'll put my headphones on. I might have like new music on my Spotify or something, or YouTube, and I'll listen to that music while I respond to people. So I get to do the things that I like while also talking to you, which is something that I really like doing, and I like to set that time aside every time I upload a video. So keep that in mind when you do make those comments. Just know that I am there, and I am going to see them, and I am throwing on my glove right now. So little pro tip right here for anyone who wants to know. These kinds of gloves are fantastic to own. So this is an artist glove. You can get it for digital artwork. That is what these are primarily used for. And basically what it will do is enable me to not smudge as much. Now I can still smudge on the paper using this, but it allows me to not smudge as much because the oils of my skin aren't going to be acting on the paper. But again, like I say, you can still smudge. That is where my other secret weapon comes in. Watch this. Oh. I gotta get the clean one. Give me a second. Boom. So this thing comes from Ohuhu, and in every single one of Ohuhu's collection, you get something like this. Now, this isn't sponsored by Ohuhu, just letting you know, but every set of Ohuhu markers gives you one of these sheets. Now, this sheet is designed to prevent this sort of damage. That damage that I attained from doing my Mario drawing, which I love to show off, right there. I'm waiting for Killer. So yeah, this it prevents this. You actually place this behind your drawing, and it protects the sheet of paper underneath. I always forget to use it. What I use it for is covering up the paper so that when I'm live streaming, I don't have to use something like this. A sheet of paper to hide the drawing and protect it. You guys can still see the... You guys can still see the entire drawing, while I also get to protect the artwork. It can still smudge, but by using the glove in collaboration with this, I don't move this around. This doesn't get moved around. If I took this glove off, I'd be able to stick... Yeah, as you can see, I'm already moving it. I stick to it and I move around. But wearing a glove, it stops me sticking to it, and I just get to freely flow along it and glide along it, and it's really nice. So, yeah, it's a good tip. Use both of them, and when you're streaming, everyone gets to see everything, and nobody loses any of the details that you're working on, which I like to do. I like to do. You did so good in Fall Guys yesterday. Thank you. You know what? I am a professional Fall Guys player. If you didn't know this, I am the world's best Fall Guys player. I am obviously incredible at the game, and thank you. Can you imagine if I was actually good? Yeah, right. I have no idea what I'm doing. Nah, I'm sort of okay at Fall Guys. I'm not the best at Fall Guys, but I'm okay at it. And if you do want to play with us, by the way, make sure you are subscribed to this channel, because we do Fall Guys streams quite regularly, and it's a great fun. It's just great to interact with everyone, talk to everyone, and yeah, get to talk to people on a more personal level as a content creator. I love doing stuff like that. You're a good YouTuber, thank you. I try my best. I try to make the content that I hope you will enjoy. And sometimes I get to do that, sometimes I don't. But yeah, other times it works out. It works out. Oh, I've got to make sure my device doesn't turn off there. I want to keep chatting with you guys. I'd be a terrible YouTuber if I didn't chat with everyone. I think that's one of my favorite things about being... Well, not favorite things about being a content creator. My favorite thing about live streaming is the real interactions. We get to communicate with each other on a real level. We get to talk immediately. It's direct. It's straight away. We're not waiting for time to pass. We're not checking the comment sections and doing stuff like that. This is just... I love doing this. So, yeah. I think we've sort of got a bit of a rough going on there. It doesn't look too bad. I might make the wings larger on Spyro, actually. Maybe we can drop the wing down a little bit. So we can maybe have it go like there. Would be nice. Just give it a little bit more sort of fan to it. You know what I mean? Just a little bit down there. I think that's good. Okay, we'll move on to Spyro's head. And again, this is just the planning phase right now, which is what I recommend you all do. When you're doing these sketches, as you can see right here, I'm going off the paper. So I might make it fit, which I wouldn't, again, suggest that you do this, but I'm lazy and I'm a terrible artist, so... I'm actually a bad artist. So... A lot of people don't understand this about me. I'm a bad artist. I'm terrible at artwork. I'm gonna trigger so many people now. Every time I say it in a video or like in a live stream, it's like, I'm a bad artist. Everyone's like, how dare you say this? What do you mean? Look, I just, you know, I'm okay at art. It's just, I'm okay. I'm not great. I'm gonna hide now. How am I doing this bit? I don't really understand Spyro's head. So I think it'll be, I don't know, we're just going to map out like a rough area for his mohawk. And we'll have that go through there. And it's cool. I think. Is it cool? Is it good? I don't know if it's good. But I think we've got a bit of a rough basis now to actually begin doing some more details. We should probably map out the eyes first. Again, you just want to make sure when you're doing a rough planning stage of the drawing, you want to make sure that you are... taking advantage of this stage, making it as messy as you possibly can, getting those details in there where you need to, but make sure that they are simplistic details. So you're getting like the polygons of the character design in there. Sort of like if you were a video game creator, you're making sure to get those base levels in there before someone comes along with their textures and starts placing them into the drawing. And that's what you want to do. That's how you want to create your artwork. You don't want to overexert yourself in this stage. This stage should be about just building up a foundation, which will later motivate you to complete the piece. If you focus too much on this stage, you're going to find yourself not wanting to create the piece any further. You're going to find yourself getting burnt out really, really quickly. And honestly, this is the best way to avoid. Actually, here's a great point. A really good way for you to avoid burnout is to take this bit not too serious. And in fact, I would suggest not taking any art seriously, but don't take this bit too seriously. This part is not serious. This part is a bit of fun. It is a joke part of the drawing. It is just for a laugh. And whatever comes out at the end of this can be changed, can be refined. This is just about warming up your hand and seeing if you're ready to do what you're going to do. So, yeah, don't overexert yourself. Make sure you're having fun with artwork. Always. That should always be your first point, I guess, is to make sure that you're having fun. And as soon as the fun stops, this kind of applies to things like gambling as well. It's kind of the same thing. As soon as the fun stops, you stop. With anything, whether it's gaming, gambling, drawing, reading, when the fun stops, you stop. There's just no reason for you to push yourselves to produce something that, to be honest, only matters to you. It doesn't matter to other people. Same thing applies in my YouTube videos. The drawings in my videos don't matter to other people. Or I guess, yeah, they're not really something that I need to make matter. Because at the ends of the drawings, I can do something else. I can add another drawing to the video. I can change the style of the video. I can create a fun challenge in the video. I can do anything to change the dynamic of the video, and the drawing itself doesn't have to matter too much. So, yeah, if I don't feel like drawing, I'm not going to draw. Why would I? I'm going to do my best to... Nice! On YouTube now! Yeah, so I stream on YouTube. I stream on YouTube now and then. I mean, I'm going to try and stream regularly on YouTube, but I do my gaming streams over here, and... they're pretty good. They're pretty fun. They're a good success. I don't know what you guys think about them, but I like them. They're a fun time. But the art streams are going to be, you know, few and far between. We'll have some art streams now and then over here. And we'll see how they go. So as you can see right here, I'm probably going to have to raise the head up just a little bit. I want to make sure that the scaling and everything works out perfectly. And again, not refining any details. Do not refine things. It's so important that I don't do that. If I start refining things, I'll start noticing mistakes. And if I start noticing mistakes, I'll get frustrated. I'll get flustered. I get hot. I don't want to do it anymore. So you want to make sure that you are not refining things too quickly. You want to make sure that you're doing it in stages and you're getting things slowly done. You're building up the progress slowly, seeing how it looks. In my case, I get to gauge your response, so I get to read the comments and see what you guys think about it. And if I start to see that it is going bad, it starts to go off a little bit. It's not, you know, it's not going the way that I want it to. Then I start to change things and I start to adapt things. So don't focus too much on certain stuff. And I think we're looking pretty good so far. I think we've got a bit of a nice basis here. So we can start getting a bit more of the shape now. We move on to the shapes and refining them, cleaning up those edges just a teeny tiny bit. In that, yeah, it makes me feel old. Yeah, Spyro's really old. Spyro's super old. I love Spyro. I used to play it as a kid all the time. I love Spyro. I suppose here's a question for everyone. As this is a gaming channel as well, the question is, which is your favorite Spyro game? This is a very contested thing. A lot of people have different opinions around this. For me, it's Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon. Some people, it's Spyro 2, and I think it's between 3 and 2 as to which one is everyone's favorite one. So, which is your favorite Spyro game? Please let us know. I'm curious to see which one you like. And there are different names in the US, in the EU, and in Japan. So, whichever one is yours, just stick with Spyro 1, 2, or 3. You can include the other ones, but I think we're all unanimously in agreement that every other Spyro game thereafter is bad. So I think we all accept that they're all bad after that. So just 1, 2, or 3. Do not say Skylanders! What? Who said Skylanders? Behave yourself. You behave yourself right now. 100% trolling right there. I will stand for none of that. How dare you? How dare you? The Spyro Reignited trilogy. Yeah, Reignited is fantastic, but Reignited, that doesn't count. That's all 3 of them. It's the same games, they're just updated. But obviously, if we are to include Reignited, then Reignited is the winner because it's the games, but it's refined. The games are fixed. There are some elements in the Reignited which aren't as good, like the speeding up when you're running and stuff like that. But for the most part, the Reignited is the superior version of the game. Just need to finish off this side of the mouth. So we're going to actually square this off, I think, just so we can sort of see what we're doing. Again, working with those sort of polygon shapes and make sure that we get those in there. Okay. Building up. And I think we're doing all right. I think we're okay. So I would move the mouth slightly over a bit, in my opinion, which is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to shimmy it just slightly over. We'll move it to, I think about here. Might be good. Let me just do something like that. And I think it looks better already. Okay, there you go. So we've sort of got a bit of a head going on there. That's cool. Which means we can now start moving on to some of the other key areas. So we'll work out where the foot has to go and the details on that. And as you can see, this is what you don't get to see in those YouTube videos, is the building process of a drawing. When you're building up a drawing, I go through all of these stages, and I skip over them usually. I do keep some of them in there in a time skip, but this is exactly what's happening. I'm doing all of these stages. I'm going through this process of doing this. In my YouTube videos, it's a little bit different to my streams in that the YouTube videos, I'm creating original character or original images, original versions of those characters whenever I'm doing a picture. So if I'm drawing Spider-Man, I'm drawing my own rendition of a Spider-Man. So I'm taking sources and references and I'm drawing my own rendition of it. Whereas when I'm streaming and I'm doing stuff like this, we're doing some fan art. We're just having a little bit of a sketch session here to show people some of their favorite things and to draw things. So there's no point in me going through another process of the original style, because original is a completely different mindset. Now I will be implementing some original choices in this drawing. There'll be some original design choices. I'll talk about those as I go through them, which on this foot there will be some of them. But that's a separate thing to actually creating a full-on original image or original pose or original style of a character. There's a big difference in them, and it requires dedicated streams to do each one of those because they are very different processes. And the mindset as well is extremely different. Favorite Spyro villain? I don't really have a favorite Spyro villain. I think they're all pretty one tone. I'm not really that into them. Like, yeah, they're not really something that I think about, the villains in Spyro. Really don't care about them. I think that the sort of the series itself and the levels itself are its own villain. Going through those stages, doing all of those things, and coming into like the mini bosses and the characters on the screen, they're fun to go across. But actually picking I don't think they have strong villains. I don't think the villains in the series are very good. They're not as good, like for example, as Cortex from Spyro. I think Spyro's from Crash Bandicoot, sorry, much better villain there, and actually you can enjoy the villain. But yeah, not a fan of Spyro's villains. I don't think they're done well. What about you guys? Don't forget to like the stream, guys. Yes, if you are here watching this, we do appreciate it. If you do like the stream, that would be greatly appreciated. And thank you all for stopping by as well. I really do think this is just... It warms my heart. It's fantastic to see everyone here. I love you. I love you all. I love you. I'm just going to declare my love on the stream. Just, I love you. How you doing? Do you do digital artwork? Nah. Like, I did for a considerably long time over on... Twitch. I was doing digital artwork, but it just wasn't good. Like, well, I mean, it was good for me. I was doing good art, but it wasn't good for the viewers. No one was really enjoying it. I wasn't really enjoying it. Digital is, there's such a human element that's removed from doing digital artwork, and while you're doing it, you can't feel it, if that makes sense. I can't feel it. It's not a tangible thing. It's within a screen. It doesn't feel the same, so I don't feel that connection to it, and I don't enjoy it because of that. I think having your hand rub across the paper, having the paper's corners fold as you do stuff, feeling this part, feeling your hand sticking to things and moving stuff around, rotating things. There's so many things that go into traditional artwork that I think is lacking in digital. And while digital does serve its purpose to me, and that is rendering my artwork when I want to make merchandise and sell things, it doesn't satisfy me as an artist. And art for me is a hobby. Although it is a job, it is a hobby too. And I want to enjoy it as a hobby. And I want to make sure that I'm having a good time as I do it. And that means relaxing while I do it, which goes into the process of drawing itself. I want to make sure that as I'm doing my drawings, and I'm sure many of you who follow me on Twitch as well, you've heard all this before. But as I'm doing my artwork, I want I want it to calm me down. I want it to allow me to escape. I want it to allow me to feel very, very good and very calm and very at peace. And as soon as it doesn't feel like that, I don't want to do it anymore. So that's what I'm focusing on with these streams. That's what this is all about. That's why I'm doing them. Because it's giving me a chance to be an artist. It's giving me a chance to not be the content creator that I've become, where I'm making YouTube videos all the time, where I'm sat around pulling out bits of supplies and doing camera shots that rotate and all of this stuff, which isn't art for me. It's a process of creating a video. It's not art, and it isn't giving me what art is. So there are two sides, and streaming is obviously facilitating that sort of need, really, to feel at peace and calm with art. Which I would encourage all of you to do as well. Whenever you're doing artwork, no matter what capacity you're doing it in, if you're doing it as a... By the way, I'm going to start refining some details now. But whenever you're doing artwork, it doesn't matter if you're doing it as a job, it doesn't matter if you're doing it as a hobby, you want to maintain the relaxation of what artwork is, the calming nature of artwork. You want it to be an escape from reality and something that gives you peace of mind as you're doing it. And we forget about that. Everyone is chasing money, everyone wants to sell merchandise, everyone wants to become a commissioned artist. And honestly, I think that doing these sorts of things, you need to wake up to the reality that you won't be able to do both. There will be a distinct difference between them, and your mindset will change when it comes to that point. So you need to find ways of escaping that side and the business side of artwork. And for me, that's been streaming. Streaming is it's just fantastic. It feels great. It makes me feel relaxed, and I absolutely love it. And the community is fantastic too. And chatting with you is just amazing. Now, while I'm doing this, basically what I'm doing is I have the reference there, and I'm changing some of these scales. I want the scales to have a little bit more of a my style to them, so I'm giving them the extra lines, which are inspired by Dragon Ball. I've been doing this for many years now. Whenever I get a armored texture or some sort of texture, like a metallic texture, shield, something like that, I start implementing these little lines, and also I'm just giving a little bit of a shadow underneath them to show that they are layered on top of each other. Again, this is not present in the source material, but this is what I'm talking about when you're changing things. You want to make your artwork your own, even if you're copying. Do your best to take advantage of the fact that you are copying, so a large portion of what it is that you're doing and the difficulties and the struggles of what you're doing is removed because you're copying. You're not having to think about the process. You're not having to think about the proportions, how these things work, how that works, how that light works, whatever. You don't have to think about all of these things. That is completely removed by the fact that you are copying. And it should be removed when you're copying. When you're copying, your mind should be in other places. You should be able to do other things while copying. You should be able to talk to your family, listen to music, watch a series. These are things that you can't do when you're being original. When you're being original, you're using your brain power. Your brain power is focused on the creative process. And that hinders your artwork to a degree. It hinders you if you're copying, because if you're copying and you're focused, you're going to make mistakes because you're going to be trying, you're going to be second guessing. You're going to make so many mistakes if you're thinking about the process when copying. You want to remove that as best as you can and as quickly as you can to become a better, I guess, a copy artist. And as you move into referencing, which copying does teach you and copying does give you, once you move into that, you can go the way you want with that. You can start focusing a bit more. There's a lot of questions going on right here. I'm just having a look at what you guys... Okay, no real questions. Hello, Decaffeinated Butter. How are you doing? Run back through some of these comments and just see if I'm missing anyone. I think I've got everyone. Hey, Tails. How you doing? How's it going? Right, I think we're... Oh, God. I'm going to do my best to stay on top of this chat. Emerald, how are you? I'm going to do my best to stay on top of the chat and catch up with Sam. There are so many faces coming in here, guys. You are amazing. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Loving the support over here. It is great. Gaming art is so much fun. I will speed up my artwork as well, by the way, so this isn't going to be a completely slow piece. Don't worry. I know a lot of people don't understand the actual time that goes into artwork, and that's fine because most experiences are watching YouTube videos, watching content on shorts and things like that. And I will say that these are give you a clouded view of what artwork actually is. So if you want to create quality artwork, you're looking at spending several hours doing it. If you're looking to create, I'll give you an example of, because I love this drawing. So if we go back to my Mario drawing right here. So again, this was copying. So this one, although I did some of the shading and stuff like that, and I took a little bit of creative freedom in there, for the most part, this is a copied image. And this one took me around 6 hours to do, around 6 hours of just going at it and doing it. But I had to, I didn't have to use my brain for it. I had an image and I was able to just do my work and focus on other things. But yeah, I will say this took around 6 hours. So in the YouTube video, you saw it occupied about 30 seconds of a video. That's a 6-hour process. So these are things that do get lost on a lot of people when they're watching content, and they don't truly appreciate how long it does take as an artist, but it does take a very long time. I think you have to expect that when you go into it. Don't try to rush your artwork too much. I do, because that's just me. But if I was you, take your time, relax, and see what comes of it. But I do speed up all of this process. I am pretty quick when it comes to doing some things. But that's just me. I have a habit of drawing now. It's no longer you know, it's no longer me thinking about it anymore. It's just a habit. Oh, I just do it. Huh. Wait, what? It gets ruined by who? Your siblings. Oh no. That's yeah, that sucks. I will say I've never had a situation where my artwork has been ruined by someone else. I can't imagine that's ever going to happen. I take care of my artwork. I put it in folders. I hide it. It's safely away. For the most part, most of my drawings are actually trashed. Most of them, I don't keep my drawings. I don't really care too much about my drawings. They're not something that I value too much because, again, it is a job for me. Artwork is a job, and as it's a job, it's not something that I need to place true raw emotional care into. And if I did do that, I just wouldn't be a good artist. If I was caring too much about the process, or not a good artist, sorry, I wouldn't be a good content creator if I cared too much about the process, because I'd spend, you know, several weeks creating artwork and I'd never get it done. The video would never be done. I'd never achieve anything, and that'd be, you know, I'd spend like 3 weeks making one drawing, and that just wouldn't be viable. So you have to, as a professional artist, stop caring about your work, depending on what capacity it is that you're doing it. So if you're taking commissions, you have to care. If you're taking commissions, you must care about your artwork. You must take it seriously. You've got to go with it because you are doing it commissioned and you're doing it for someone else. But if you're like me and you're doing content on YouTube, it doesn't really matter too much. You know, it's not an important thing for me. Just gonna see if I can do like something here, just some lines, and just see what comes of them. I am planning to add some color to this one, but we'll see how things go. And if it works out well, we do some coloring. That'll be good. Yeah. But yeah, so I gotta say, I do like drawing things that I like. I get a lot of comments regarding requests, shall I say, for people wanting me to do things that they want to see. And when I'm live, I make sure that my live streams are about me. My live streams are about my mental health. They're about me feeling good. They're about me enjoying the process. So I only ever draw things that I like to draw. And drawing things that I like to draw really allow me to just turn off my brain and just go for it and just do things. But there's a time and place, I think, for being a professional artist and being a, I don't know, like, what would you say? Just being a person who does artwork on a platform for other people. Whether it's in a professional capacity or just for people to see. There's a time and place for that. And right now, it is this place for me to do my artwork, if that makes sense. And that's what live streams are. They're for me to fulfill my desires as an artist and interests. People pleaser. Yeah, I think people pleaser. I'm actually, as you can see right here, I'm not meant to be doing all of this. I don't know why I'm doing the shading. I'm not intending for this to be a shaded piece, so maybe doing the shading is a bad idea. I think we'll cut the shading out. I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to get all of the lines in, then do some inking, maybe. I think that'll be good. Or I could just go straight into coloring, like I did with the Mario. That could be good too. What do you guys think? Do you want to see some inking or just straight coloring? Similar to Mario. I think the coloring would be a good idea. No line work, just straight coloring. Which means I just have to do some very harsh lines so that I can erase them. And then they'll be visible. So this area, for example, I need to make sure that I get these claws looking the way I want them to. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to change the reference. I think the reference is poorly done. So it's a rendered image from the Spyro game, which I don't really think it looks great. It's a 3D image, so it won't translate well to what I want. And also it's taken in motion, so we're going to change some stuff and try to improve on them where we can. Which just means adding some details. I'm not going to add harsh lines, though, around certain areas. You don't want it to look like the skin is being folded back. So what I'll do is I'll just add some color to it or shadows to it just to really show that off. I think coloring sounds good. Yeah, I think coloring is good. Do what I did with Mario. I think so. Yeah, I think we'll do what we did with the Mario one. I think the Mario one was a really good drawing. It came out great. The funny thing is, so the Mario one, for those who don't know, I feel like I'm going to relax. I'm going to relax. You know what? This isn't a tutorial. I thought when I started this stream, it would be a how to draw, right? I thought I was going to be showing you guys how to draw, but nah. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to draw naturally, and whatever comes of it, come what may, it will happen. But I think we're just going to chill out. So, yeah. In the latest video, I didn't actually realize what my drawing looks like. I didn't really think about it. I didn't think to myself, oh, this is a really good drawing. Although I said at the end of the video, you know, this is a really good drawing. And yeah, I saw that it looked good. It didn't really dawn on me how good it looked. I wasn't really focused on that because, you know, like I say, when I'm making my YouTube videos, I'm not thinking about the artwork. I'm just sort of doing it for a video. I'm more thinking about the cameras. I'm thinking about where I need to position the camera, where I need to change the camera. I'm thinking about the structure of the video itself and the story of the video. But I saw the comments, I read the comments, and the comments were fantastic. A lot of people were telling me it looked like a 3D render, it looks amazing, and from that, I was like, yeah, it actually does look amazing. So I kind of like, you guys made me realize my drawing was actually a decent drawing, and that was fantastic. That was a unique feeling. I never really, it was surprising, but yeah, I've never really experienced that before, where I just didn't think about it. Time. What's wrong with you? I love working in graphite. I've been doing it so long. It's my comfort zone, no brainer. Yeah, I think so. Like, when you find your comfort zones in art, you should probably stick with them. Stay there. It depends on what you're doing again. If you're doing artwork for fun, I think this is really important distinctions. If you're doing artwork for fun, then you should stick with what makes you feel comfortable, what makes you feel happy. If you're doing artwork as a career, then you need to do what other people want to see. And there's no two ways about it. You can't dance around it. You must do what other people want you to do. For the very longest time, I was creating artwork on the platform, doing what I wanted to do. Doing the type of artwork that I thought people would want to see. Doing the artwork that I wanted to see, sorry. And pushing that to my audiences. And then you realize quickly that this isn't a good idea to do this. You have to do what other people want you to do. So, yeah, I think that looks alright. That looks fine. For now, that looks fine. We can erase some of those and we can sort all of that out as we go. So let's figure out the side of this part, which is going to be rounded here. And then I guess cut across. It's like an elbow. I don't know. Does he have an elbow? I think Spyro has an elbow. That'll be good. Again, these are very basic, simplistic lines because I'm just going to be erasing it shortly. And if you are doing a color-only piece where you're not using any line work, you want to make sure that you scratch these lines in, which is what I'm doing right here. I'm making sure these lines are extremely hard so that when I erase the entire piece, they are the only lines that remain. I think that's nice. I don't draw as much as because I'm absolutely rubbish. I mean, everyone starts art from a certain point. Everyone starts in a certain place. And in my latest video where I did the drawing my old artwork, you could see where I started. So I started as a not good artist, right? My drawings were not great. But as a child, I thought they were the best drawings anyone's ever done. I thought they were phenomenal artworks, right? And that was because everyone around me told me that they were amazing. And I felt incredible. I thought I was just the best artist. And as you get older, your maturity as an artist, not just the sort of the skills that you develop over time, but if you're someone who's never drawn before, if you show yourself a drawing that you did as a child and then you do a drawing now as an adult, not a fan of this music. Oh my gosh, scratching my ears. But yes, so if you show yourself a drawing that you did as a child versus a drawing that you do now, even if you have no experience as an artist and you didn't back then, you don't right now, you'll be a better artist now. Period. You will absolutely be a better artist now because you have maturity. You're going to have more control over your hand. You're going to have more patience. There's a natural process to artwork understanding and things like this that will translate into your artwork. So don't worry too much about all of that stuff. You'll get better as time goes on. And if you nurture your skills and you work hard at them, they'll obviously improve too. Art is definitely a skill. I'm going to say this right now, and I know this is a very hot take, and it's probably a very hot take actually. Art is a skill. Art is something any single human can learn. The talents are your hand-eye coordination. These are talents. The talent is your ability to retain the information, whether it's from the copying, whether it's from understanding lights, darks, and shadows, all of these things, these are talents. But the ability to color, the ability to sketch, all of these things are skills. They can be learned over time. This is an absolute, this is a rule. Anyone has the capacity to learn these things. The talent is the other thing. The talent is the things that you can't teach. You cannot teach hand-eye coordination. These things, you can improve on them, but you cannot teach these things. These are things that are, what is this? Yeah, these things are talents, and the other things are skills. And it's very important. It is very important to know, why do I always have to go back to the new? It's very important to know because a lot of people do get worried about that stuff. And they also throw out the comment a lot about how talented an artist is. And I think that telling an artist that they're very talented is quite... I think it's disrespectful personally. I think that telling someone that they are a talented person, I think that's disrespectful because that is demeaning the years of work that has gone into it. And many artists, whenever I see a good artist, I always think to myself, this person has worked hard. I don't think to myself, oh, this person picked up a pencil one day and was able to draw. Never ever comes across my mind because I think that that is so disingenuous. That is, as I said, it's demeaning and it's disrespecting and disregarding the years of work that has gone into honing their skills as an artist. And I think it's very important to understand that. So you do have the capacity to be a phenomenal artist, guys. You do. You just have to sit down and really go for it. But of course, there are things that will limit you, and that will be things like your hand-eye coordinations. These are different things. So there's some stuff that you'll have to work to train on. Some people will have a higher base level as well. This is another thing too. Talent versus skill. Some people do have a higher baseline than other people, but nobody is able to wake up and be able to draw. That just doesn't happen. You have to hone the skills. You have to start somewhere and grow and achieve something later on. Can you guys see it's Batman? How did I come up with my name? So my name is, my name, ADC. Adding the art attack was just... I've gone through this story quite a few times, and a lot of people think that it's a direct inspiration from Art Attack itself. It's not. Art Attack may play a role in there, but it's got nothing really to do with Art Attack. It was me coming up with different ways. So originally it was supposed to be ADC Art Attack originally because it was supposed to be AAA. It was actually Anthony's Art Attack. It was meant to be AAA. That didn't work. So I went with ADC Art Attack, but that was taken on, I don't know where, but it was taken, so I went with ADC Epic Art Attack. And didn't like that, and eventually I was able to use the Art Attack. I was like, ADC Art Attack, that was finally available. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know what happened, but I was able to use it, and then I finally got the name that I always wanted. But yeah, it wasn't directly inspired by Art Attack the show. It was just really making things that rolled off the tongue and felt natural, and going for the AAA thing. But the AAA just didn't work, which is why you notice now we have ADC Art Attack, but the AAA was supposed to be the capitalized, however now it's ADC is capitalized. So it didn't work as I wanted to, but I do like the name now. I think that ADC Art Attack is great. I think it looks fantastic, it's clean, and I'm very happy with the name. I think it's recognizable as well, which is something that a lot of people don't understand when they're making a name for themselves or trying to create a username, is they don't focus on the fact that their name may become iconic at some point. So pick a name that can become iconic. If you pick a name that is so, you know, like if you pick a name that says, say for example, if my name was ADC7523150, like, it's not gonna be a name that people are gonna recognize, that people are gonna resonate with and see. So you want a name that is eye-catchy, that they see it and they go, oh, that's that person. And then they have that name and now that's it, that name's out there. So think about those things when you're doing it. LB, I'm very good, thank you. How are you? How are you today? Oi, oi, oi. Right, so we're actually getting somewhere. So we've been live for not too long, actually. And I think we're doing pretty good so far. It's a little bit of a slow process, I know that. I've not been doing the quickest artwork that I could possibly do. But hopefully I'm somewhat helping you in some capacity. I know I'm not doing a tutorial right now. If you are drawing alongside me, by the way, I'd appreciate you sharing those results with me on social medias. So if you do have Twitter, that'd be great to see those over on Twitter. That'd be fantastic. Discord, you guys can get in the Discord, and we'd love to see your work as well. Always looking forward to seeing people's artwork, especially if it's artwork that's been inspired. Just cheeky little plug of my socials there. Oh, and also, by the way, just to get everyone up to date again, so the Twitch chat is active right now. If you would like to support the stream further, you can do with Twitch. And be sure to make sure that you are following us on Twitch, because Twitch is where I stream live 5 days a week, usually twice a day as well. Well, sometimes, no, not usually. Whoa, let's not put that out there. So, excuse me. We stream on Twitch sometimes twice a day. Time blink! Thanks. You know when you try to be normal and it just doesn't work out? That's it. I think I'm gonna come out. I have tried so long throughout this entire stream to just be normal. I have tried so hard to be professional because I've been concerned about the idea that people are gonna be watching this on playback, right? I've been like, gotta be professional. So this is how we're doing this one, right? It's just not gonna happen. I can't do it any longer. It's been burning inside of me to just, So, hi. How's it going, everyone? It's been driving me nuts. Like, I've been really trying to do like a tutorial stream, and at no point in this entire stream have I been a tutorial, have I been normal, at any point. But I've been trying. I've really been trying to just keep it together, but it's gone. It's done. It's gone. We have lost it now. How you doing? What are you guys up to? What am I up to? I don't even know anymore. I think he's got a short neck. Why do you have such a short neck, Spyro? What happened to you? Did you run into a wall again? There's a fair point. Spyro, if you run into a wall... See, look, now I've got to stop. Now I'm weird. I have a headache. I still have a headache. It's just there. Took you long enough. I can't... Like, it's just... man. I was trying so hard. I was trying so hard to be professional. I was like, oh, ADC Art Attack. You know, I gotta be professional over here, right? Because people on my YouTube channel, they're gonna see this and they're gonna be like, oh, he's a nice, normal individual creator. I'll watch his content. Yeah, I like his content. Oh, what's he doing? Oh, that's normal, isn't it? Look what he just did there. You know. Well, I don't just randomly shout, by the way. That was just me just expressing that it's not always normal over here. But somebody just said yo, and I feel so bad for you, Z-Mix. I feel like you've just joined our chat and I just screamed at you. How you doing? What is normal, right? Well, you just said spider. There is a spider. I have a friend. I have a spider in my room. He lives up there now. I don't know how he got in here because there's no window in here. I don't know. How did you get in here? The door was shut as well. So this spider has somehow made its way into my room, rent-free, I might add. And I need the money. Could you chip in a little bit? Maybe I should feature him in a YouTube video. Hold up. Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name's ADC Art Attack. And there's my spider. You can't see him. Hey! Get out here! Should I get it? I feel like I should get it and bring it over on stream. Like, hey! Why am I shouting at a spider? This is not normal. See, this is exactly what I was afraid of. This is why I don't like streaming. No, I love streaming. I think streaming is fantastic. But this is why I was scared to stream. Where's my picture? There it is. Scared to stream on YouTube because I'm strange. And people will see it. And then they'll just be like, look at his face and his nose and his... I was going to say hair, but we don't talk about that over here. I once had... I'm actually growing my hair. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. You ready? I'm growing my hair. Like, I'm growing my hair. It's coming back. I'm not growing it though, but it's coming back. Just because okay, I'm not growing my hair. I'm gonna be honest now. I don't think I can carry on with this lie. I'm so sorry, guys. I have lied to you. I'm too lazy to shave my head, so I didn't shave it. So that's the truth. There you go. Now you know. Now you've embarrassed me. You've embarrassed me over here. It's a spider. I know, right? I feel like I should get that spider. I really want to get it. I really want to get it now. I don't like him up there. The good thing is I live in Germany, so the spiders here, they don't really do anything. They sort of just, they give you the look like they're going to do something, but they're just like tiny spiders, you know. They're not real, you're a fake. Like my rabbit could eat you. You are nothing. But they are really small spiders, and I don't fear them. Such a liar. I'm such a liar. Honestly, I'm not afraid of spiders unless they're on me, right? Or near me. Or in the vicinity. If I can see them, then I have a problem with them. But if I don't, right, I'm not afraid of spiders if I don't see them. So if you turn off the lights and then I stick my hand on a spider, I'll be like, oh, an 8-legged bunny. I like you. But if I saw the spider, then I'd go, oh, look, an 8-legged demon. I love you. I don't love you. I hate you. I hate all spiders. Yeah, I said it. That's why I won't go to Australia. If you like, people are like, oh, you should go to Australia and collaborate with Jazza. No. Jazza should come here to collaborate with me. I ain't going to Australia. I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. Do you know what they have? It's just... Sarah. She lives there. So no. Please don't tell her I said that. Spiders in Australia will eat you. Spiders in Australia would like eat your shoes. I feel like you'll wake up one day, the shoes are gone. I have shoes. Why did I just say that? I have shoes. Do you? Do you have shoes? I do. Like, oh, flex on us, why don't you? Sorry. So what's your excuse for not visiting Jackie? What, in Canada? That's cold. That's cold. I'll visit Jackie. I'll go over to Canada. She ain't invited me, though. Terrible. So, I mean, it's just poor behavior, to be honest. Like, where's my invite? Somebody needs to get on Nerdy Crafter and just let her know, look, we need a Christmas card invitation here. Christmas card invitation? An invitation to send a Christmas card. The animals in Australia are harmless unless you annoy them too much. Uh-huh. Yeah, of course. Of course. Of course they are. Harmless. They got that reputation for just being lovable animals, didn't they? Oh, look, a snake. Oh, he's so cute. Yeah, he's snaky. Look at him, a snake. Look at him. Adorable snake. So cute. Oh, look. It's grabbing my leg. Oh. Oh, it's carrying me away. Where is it taking me? To a tea party? Oh, look at this snake. I love it so much. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, what a lovely snake that was. Yeah, it's a nice snake. No, I have not. There's a beach covered in cobweb. This is supposed to be a tutorial. This was supposed to be a professional stream of me just doing professional things professionally. So far, it's just been me sat here. Not really doing... I apologize. You have been sold a lie, guys. You have been sold... To be fair, how to draw like a professional artist... This is how a professional artist acts. You've seen Jazza. I can't believe I'm talking about Jazza again. It just doesn't stop, does it? Every single time I stream, I talk about Jazza. But, as you can see... As you can hear and see, it's the full visual experience. Hi. But no, yeah. Yeah, no. No, yeah. Canoe. I don't know anymore. What was any of that? That was honestly, I think my brain took over. Oh my lord. As opposed to what? My stomach? Right. We're gonna start that whole sentence again. So, my brain... Ah! Ah! Oh my goodness me! Whoa! Okay. Well, I just like dug my skin out. Can you see the injury? Look at the injury I've attained. Oh, that went so deep in my finger. Ah! Well... Ah, I am in pain. That is definitely going to bleed. Oh. Oh, I just stabbed myself so deep with this pencil. Wow. There was a point to that entire subject. Rip. Don't cry on stream. Don't cry on stream. Don't cry on stream. Oh, man. What was I saying? Every stream I heard... Don't start. Don't start. I know. Yeah, I know. Every stream. I've fallen off my chairs. I've had nothing but problems on streaming. This is why I can't be trusted to do anything in life. Ever. But no. Oh my gosh. What was I saying? Just pretend to know what I was talking about, because I've lost it now. I've lost it. The mind is gone. The mind! That's what I was talking about. So sometimes the mouth takes over. And that makes less sense. But anyway, the mouth takes over and words just fly out of my head. And none of this makes sense. And yeah, I just sort of say things and just stab myself on stream. It really hurts. That's not even a joke at this point. It really hurts. I'm gonna cry about this later. I'm gonna save my tears for the weekend. I'm gonna wait until the stream ends and just like bawl my eyes out. That's gonna be it. I'm gonna use it for some sympathy points though. I think like I'm gonna go to my rabbit or something and just be like, and then hi, and then my rabbit's probably just gonna like bite me or something. Did I tell you guys? My Twitch audience knows, but my rabbit tried to end me. My rabbit ended my life almost. Electrocuted me. But like, it's not like my rabbit doesn't have electric powers. My rabbit just ate a cable and I touched it and blew myself up. So it wasn't fantastic. It really hurt. It was super electric-y. Electric-y? It was very electric-y and it electrocuted me. And then I briefly unalived. I wasn't around for a bit. Jazz don't do that. That's professional. Jazz is a professional. He is. He's way more together than I am. He is definitely. Yeah, he's got his life in order and his mind in order. He can act mature. That's the worst part. He can actually act sensible. I can't. I come on stream 5 minutes into it. My nose has fallen off. I don't know why that. My nose, it fell. What? Exactly. Just confused. I'm in pain here. Oh, creaky. How is everyone today? How's your day? Spyro's just looking at me like, dude, what the hell, man? Just, like, would you stop? Just stop doing it. I'm so sorry, Spyro. I'm gonna raise your nose. You raise my nose so I can sniff further. Yes, you can, Spyro. You can smell everything from the left-hand side much better now. Well done, Spyro. He's had a nose lift. Good lad. Back to the chat. Spyro looks great. Unfortunately, yeah, it does look pretty good. Should have made a YouTube video out of this, really, shouldn't I? The content. I must always be thinking about the content. But I'm not. I'm terrible. Have you seen Jazz's stream? Not in a long time. He doesn't really stream. I've seen him stream a few times, but he doesn't really stream much. I don't think many artists stream. Like, to be honest, any like YouTuber artists. There are a couple that do some streams now and then, but I think on the whole, most are preoccupied with making content and videos. And I get that because making video content is, again, people don't understand the actual work that goes into doing that stuff. It's not as easy as it may seem, and even if you think that you know how difficult it is, it's worse. It's a lot harder than you can imagine. Even when people have teams, it doesn't necessarily make it easier. So Jazza has a team. There are other content creators, like Sarah has someone who helps her, or has several people that helps her. So there are many people out there who have people who help them. I do literally everything on my own. I'm a sole creator, and doing that comes with some serious challenges. And it is very difficult to do. It is very, very difficult to do. It's a lot of work, and it can be very tiresome. But I think the biggest part of doing it is the stress that comes with it. Content creation isn't the easiest ride. It really isn't. Particularly if your niche is art. So art is, as we all know, one of the most difficult niches to get into. No matter how you look at it, it's an ever-changing niche. It's an ever-growing niche, and it's full of sub-niches. So you'll have someone who likes drawing but perhaps doesn't like coloring. Maybe they just want pencil sketches. But then inside that, maybe they don't want comic book artwork. Maybe they want this type of artwork. Okay, so you go into that. But maybe they don't want copy and maybe they want original. Okay, so you go into that. And there's so many sub niches within those niches. Whereas, like, if you go into, like, the video game industry or something, and you're a content creator in the gaming industry, it's like, oh, what do you like? First-person shooters. Okay, what game do you like? Call of Duty. Oh, okay, that's it, done. Like, that's it. You're at that level now. And now it's up to you to just be creative within that niche. But in art, you can't do that. In art, it's so... There's so much variety and diversity in artwork that it's very, very hard to nail it down. Time! Thank you so much, guys. Get some hype in the chat, please. We don't have emotes right now, and actually, we are building up to getting partner here on stream. So if you can like the stream and show a little bit of like, how do you do that? How do you do that cute love thing? Wait. I can do this. Is that it? Is that how you do it? Look, it's the heart. Do the heart. He did the heart. He did the monster heart. So you got the heart. And yeah, just drop some hearts. Drop some like, oh, there's a cuteness. Time. Thank you so much in chat. You gotta do the hearts, guys. Show some love when people are incredible. And if you're wondering how Time is doing that, by the way, you can follow me on my Twitch channel, which is my main streaming platform where I stream all the time. And yeah, people are supporting me over there as well right now. We are not multi-streaming. I don't multi-stream. But the chat is obviously still active. So you are free to subscribe. You are free to drop bits. You can do anything that you want while we are here. And it is, oh, look how beautiful it is. Look at all the little hearts flying up on screen. They're doing that on Twitch. They're abusing my Twitch chat right now. You see that, guys? Do you see that? See what they're doing? Can't trust them. Can't trust them at all. Thank you guys so much. It's with your thumb. I don't know. Is that right? Oh, my word. I should probably turn off my alert wall, actually, I think. Pixie, thank you so much, guys. Really, honestly, the support is incredible. Love it so much. Thank you all so much. I do love streaming. It is my favorite thing to do in terms of content creation. Absolutely love it. And now I'm going to get on to what is considered the most difficult part for many artists, doing the eyes. So, the first thing you want to do when you're doing the eyes, guys, is make sure that you focus on your weakest side first, or whichever hand is your opposite hand. So, if I'm going to do if I'm working with my left hand, then I will work on this eye first. If I'm working with my right hand, then I'll work on this eye first. You want to do that because you're going to move over to the other side. If you start here and you go over here, you're going to hide, as you can already see. If I start there and then I go here, I can't see the other side. So, you need to be able to see the other side. So, make sure you're always starting on the opposite eye, and that will decide how where your eyes are going to be placed. And from there, it's just as simple as drawing a circle. So, circles aren't the most difficult thing to draw. I know a lot of people do struggle with circles, but they don't have to be difficult. I think if you do them in a scratchy style like I'm doing here, and you can train, you can sit down and practice and do circles all day long if you want to get the sort of idea of them. Actually, I think we might go larger with this circle. I think we'll go like a really big eye. But yeah, you can practice circles, and all a circle is, remove your thought process from doing the circle. Don't think about the process of actually doing that circle. What you want to do when you're doing it is make sure you get that hand motion. And it's a consistent hand motion that is going to be the same every single time you do a circle. So make sure that you've got it in mind and you remember it. And you're just going to have it coded to your brain eventually, which is what I've got. It's just sort of there. I know how to do it, which is why I can draw circles on most scales fairly accurately. So if I draw a circle, I can't do it when I've got something underneath. But when I draw a circle, I pretty much know where the circle is going to be and how to draw a circle. There is also a secret to doing circles as well, which I can show you, which is you get your thing, you put your pen down, and then you just rotate the canvas, which this isn't going to work out too well. I've totally messed up. Didn't mess up too badly, but there is a circle right there. So you can just do it like that, rest your little finger on the canvas, put your hand down, and then just turn the canvas like that, and you'll get a perfect line, a perfect circle every time. Although, that one was just me not doing it correctly. But it's pretty easy. So, regarding the eye though, the size of the eye, I'm not too sure with Spyro. I feel like Spyro's eye should be a lot bigger. But how big should I go with the eye? Like, let's have a look. If I put the other one in there real quick, just like a little line. Yeah, I think making it larger. This is the only difficult part here, is trying to figure out how big you want the eyeballs. And I think, like, if we could scale it down to, like here, maybe? Let's see if we can do this. So I think a big eye for Spyro would give him a sort of cutesy appearance to him. And the shading, I'm going to have the shading on the opposite side, I think. So, or do we just replicate this one? we'll just replicate this, seeing as we're having a bit of fun. So we'll do, that's where the globe is going to be, and within that we'll have the pupil somewhere in there. So, like that. So I think that looks pretty good. That's not a bad eye. We can shade that in a little bit. Again, the shading and stuff doesn't really matter too much, but just getting it in there so we can actually see it and we know what we're doing is a good idea at this stage. This music is so lounge, right? It's just like, chill out. I'm not sure if you guys can hear the music. It is just quiet and it's just meant to be there for just a little background noise. Provided by Artlist, which is not sponsored. It's under a paid license, which I paid for. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. Cost me money to play this music. ADC! Oh my gosh, what? Hi! Hi, Knuckles! Shout at me in the chat. How's it going? Is it loud or is it quiet? Can you hear me over the music? I hope you can. I hope it's not too loud. So, let's go for a nice circle on this one. We're going to try and make this one match a little bit. You want to make sure that it matches the other circle, not that it matches the other eye. You don't want the entire eyeball to reflect the same shape. And this is important. I see this all too often. Like, someone will do the eye here and then place it in the same place on the other side. You don't want to do that. That is not the point. With a human, that will work, but when I'm doing this, no. You're shouting so much. I'm doing very good, thank you. I hope you're well. It's perfect volume. Fantastic. What's your opinion on landscape art? I think it serves a purpose. It's not something I do because I think it's a... Like, my opinion on artwork, if it's different to stuff that I do, I still respect every form of artwork. So there's nothing wrong with doing one artwork or another artwork, regardless of what it is that you're doing. I just don't do it. But landscape artwork is obviously a very beautiful art form. And landscape artwork is another one that is essentially copying too. And it's a great practice. It, again, trains your hand-eye coordination. It teaches you to be able to do those things, to learn those things. Actually, landscape art is one of the best forms of artwork to train yourself as an artist. So, yeah, love landscape art. I think it's fantastic. It's not something I do because it requires so much work for what is, in my opinion, for the type of work that I do, little income, outcome, whatever. It's not a viable option for me as an artist, so I don't do it. But when it comes to the general purpose of it, I think it's fantastic. I really don't like the way that Spyro's eyes look. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm doing it the way the reference is, but I think I should just do it my way. We'll see what we could do. I think maybe this bit should be straight, like here. I'm changing it up a little bit, but why not? It will look better once the shadows and the coloring, by the way, is put in there. That's very important when you're doing artwork to remember. Is that as you're doing a sketch, as you're doing something, it does require other assets in the area to make something look better. So that is a key thing to remember when you're doing artwork. And it also applies when you're doing things like the colors of skin, particularly. So whenever you're doing the flesh tones of anything, you want to make sure that you're doing those last. Now, I didn't do it last when I did my Mario drawing. And you'll notice that Mario was extremely washed out. So I actually added some deeper colors to that. But I'm going to leave the eyeball single right now like that while I work on the other areas. But yeah, the colors will change when you start adding surrounding colors and things like that. So you got to make sure that you are very, very much aware of color theory and how that works into your piece and your artwork. And this is going to be a bit of a ride, actually. So the Bob Ross style of artwork is a very typical form of artwork. You'll notice that Bob Ross's artwork aren't highly detailed artworks. They're not things that you see with many other artists. It's an accessible art form, the Bob Ross style. It's an accessible thing. It's what I relate Bob Ross's art style to is spray paint art. So spray paint art is there's two sides to it. You have the professional spray painters who do the very, very crazy, amazing artworks with spray paint, which are like super in-depth, beautiful pieces of artwork. And then you have the other side of the artists, which are the ones who use a lot of utensils. They spray and they'll do like a galaxy or a planet. And it just involves crumbling paper, pushing it all down, peeling it all off, things like this. Now, things like this are, while they are skills and they do end up looking really fantastic in the end, they are very accessible artwork. These are things that anyone with minimal training or copying can do. And that's exactly what Bob Ross's tutorials and paintings are when you watch them. I'm not saying that all of Bob Ross's are like that, but when you look at Bob Ross's tutorials and the things that everyone follows, you'll notice that people who have no art background or no art skills replicate what he does almost perfectly. And one, that's a combination of him being a fantastic teacher and also the fact that it is an accessible art form. It's a very accessible one. It's not like other forms of art and painting. When you see some people doing landscape paintings, you'll see them doing extremely detailed, putting in deer into their backgrounds, putting in other sort of textures and elements to their mountains, not using a brush to just pull things around and move the paints around. They're really making these things their own assets, and that's why there's a big difference between those art forms. One has a more closer aesthetic as well. So if you zoom in on one person's art form, and if you zoom in on like Bob Ross's one, you'll notice a big difference between those two as well. And again, I'm talking about the Bob Ross tutorials, the ones that we are all used to seeing in, what is that? That we're all used to seeing in the videos that everyone recreates. But again, taking nothing away from it, it's still fantastic. But it's just an accessible art form, so it's just very different. Like Stan Lee. So Stan Lee was never really known for being an exceptional artist. Was a good artist, but obviously hired artists to fill the gap on his skills. Was more creative. I'm not super familiar with all of Stan Lee's. I'll be completely honest here to comment on them too much. I have seen his Spider-Mans and I have seen some of his artwork. But obviously, commissioning other artists was a wise decision because his storytelling was much better. His creative design was better than the actual execution of his artwork. So there is obviously different niches to these things, different skill sets for people. It's kind of like colorists as well. People who do color for professional artwork, so comic books and things like that. Typically what you'll find is a comic book artist will do the drawings, someone might do the inking, and then someone might do the coloring. And this is very typical, and that's typically the way the industry works because it's rare that somebody can have the entire package. Also, there's some mental struggles with that as well. If you try to do it all, you'll probably fail in some area. So if you were to do a sketch of a character, you probably wouldn't be able to do the line work because you're going to be too stressed after doing the sketching. I know this from my experience, for example. If I was to do a full-fledged comic book or a manga or a animation, so I can create one drawing, right? And if I'm doing the one drawing good, then I can do the one drawing exceptionally good. But if you ask me to do 20 drawings and you give me a deadline of 6 hours, I have to choose one of those skills to do. And it can be, I am skilled in pretty much each one of those areas. I do have great sketching, I do have great line work and coloring, but you'd have to give me one of those areas. I would not be able to do all of them in such a tight time frame. So if you give me the one, I'll be able to do the one. If I was to do a sketch, for example, I can do sketches like this entire thing. If I wanted to sketch this really fast, I think today we did this in about the actual just sketch base layer in about 20 minutes. Now, if I was going to do this for a comic book, I would do the sketch in around 5 minutes. 5 to 8 minutes, I'd do the sketch. Then I would send it to someone to do the line work. Now, that person would do the line work, and they would take maybe 20 to 30 minutes to do the line work. Then they would give that to the colorist, and the colorist would then spend another 30 minutes doing that coloring. So now you've broken the process up amongst everyone. And by doing that, we allow an overlap. So you can go back to, again, the start. So now while that person's doing the inking, I'm doing the next one. When they're done with that inking and they've given it to the colorist, they're now doing the inking for my next one. And I've decided, and that's how it works and that's how it flows. You cannot expect someone to do everything. The only exception to that is cover artwork. So when it comes to comic books and cover artwork, it's not uncommon to hear my music stop. Oh yeah, the music stopped. Okay. So it's not uncommon to find a artist do the entire piece for a cover. And that's usually because a company has commissioned that person specifically because they are a recognized artist. Maybe they're a YouTuber, maybe they're an Instagram artist, they're a famous artist, they're someone, and that person's been commissioned to do a special project. We see it on Twitter quite a lot with like the Sonic book coloring books, for example. The Sonic the Hedgehog coloring books. Many artists are commissioned not because they are working in the industry, they're commissioned, or that they've done the artwork in the book. They're commissioned because they are a very good, talented artist. They've been scouted, they've been found on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, and then they've been asked, would you like to do a cover? So they've done the entire piece. Maybe they've done something different. Maybe they've messaged a friend. Maybe they've messaged someone else to do the coloring. That's up to them. But it isn't uncommon to find someone do everything for a cover page. But the book itself, no, you wouldn't find that. Yeah, James does that a lot. Box office artist, he does that a lot. So he's worked in the industry. I have education on the industry, but he actually has first-hand education and experience in the industry. I just have an education on it. So my education is not going to be perfect. Mine is just sourced information, whereas his is a first-hand experience. And he can much better. I mean, James is incredible. He's a fantastic artist, a beautiful artist. He's extremely kind-hearted, and you know what? Every time we jump into his streams, he's amazing. He has very often complimented my coloring as being superior to his. I disagree. I think that he undersells himself quite heavily. I think he's a fantastic colorist. I think his artwork is phenomenal. But in any case, I mean, yeah, he's just an amazing person. By the way, I'm erasing all of this not because it's a mistake. I'm erasing it because I need to do some overlaying lines. So it's not a mistake to do this, and that's not why I'm doing it. I'm just now breaking it up into sections, so of individual scales. So what I'm going to do is just bring this bit up here and dip it inwards like that, and then do the same thing there. And the reason I'm doing that is you want your artwork to have separations. If you're working on a piece of art and a character, depending on what your end goal is for that character, it's a really good idea to just add some sort of layers to the artwork. And by layers, I mean doing these slight indentations that just lift each of the areas that are touching each other apart from each other. If you have one flowing line around the outside of an image, it can make it look very flat. You see it a lot with comic book artwork. A lot of people will do one heavy black line around the outside. And it looks fantastic. But it's a different art style and it yields different results. So it's up to you how you want to go about that and what your end goal is. And this is why we always say, don't copy someone else. Don't copy. Now, I'm in a position right now, I'm copying a Spyro image from the video game. But when I'm creating my artwork, I'm not copying people. Because if I copy people, I'm not going to understand why they made the choices they made. And when I'm making my YouTube videos, I don't copy people because, again, I need to implement my own thing to it. I need to understand what I want to do and the path that I want to take in my artwork and be able to make those changes on the fly. Because if I make a mistake, I need to know why I've made that mistake and how I can improve upon that area and change it. You won't be able to do that if you've copied someone. You won't understand. You'll lack the knowledge that they had about their process. The same thing with my line work, inking. You've seen my inking has become my own. There's a lot of variations to my inking, and that's a style that I've made myself. Obviously, line variations is a style out there, but my particular way of doing it is my style to accommodate my shortcomings when I do artwork. So whenever I make a mistake, I do a variation, and that variation isn't thought out. It's not planned out. It acts as a cover up for a mistake that I've made because you can't erase. So I had to come up with a way to avoid erasing when I do inking, and that was my way of doing it. And you can't teach that stuff. You can tell someone how to do it, but they won't be able to do it perfectly because they won't have the first-hand experience of it. They didn't create that style for themselves or make the style to fulfill their needs, is what I'm saying there. What up, creative art? How you doing? Thank you so much. How much was my sketchbook? I don't know about this. This was Copic. I don't know if I even bought this. I don't know if I bought. I don't think I bought this. I think it's got sent to me. I'm pretty sure because I wouldn't have bought it. I don't buy it. I mean, it's good. It's a nice little sketchbook thing. Don't get me wrong. This isn't bad by any means. So no hate to Copic. It's not bad, but I just wouldn't have bought it because I just don't buy sketchbooks myself, and I wouldn't have bought something like this because I don't need this kind of paper. So it's not important to me. But I'm using it now just because it's convenient and because I have a couple of drawings in here. So when I make a YouTube video one day, it'll be nice to flip through this as part of that. So when I'm doing, like, for example, my sketchbook, if we just pull my sketchbook out, when I do my sketchbook sessions, I get to flip through my old drawings. So the drawings that I did many years ago, I go through these, and then I get to eventually my modern ones. So these are now my modern sketches. So these are the ones that I do as part of my sketchbook sessions. And not all of them are good. Not all of them are bad. But they're pretty good drawings. But this is a nice thing to do. When you start a video, when you start something, you get to flip through this. You get to show people your artwork as you go. I'm not showing that because that was a Vegeta there that I just gave up on. But yeah, you get to flip through all of this and show people that little journey that you're taking as an artist, and it's really nice. But it's got nothing to do with having a sketchbook. I don't really care about sketchbooks. At the end of that, actually, I should say, when I'm completed with that sketchbook, I'm going to be auctioning it off and then giving the money to charity. So, because I don't care about my art, and I'm sure someone else will value it more than I would. So we'll give it away and or sell it in some capacity. I don't know how, and then we'll just give it to the charity. I don't. It's better for someone else to have it than me, is what I'm saying here. Because it will just end up on a shelf or in a bin somewhere. It just end up in the trash. So yeah, somebody else will get to have it, and I'm sure take care of it. We're getting a bit of a nice image here, though, I will say. Hello, David. How are you? I'm more of a digital now. Yeah, so I'm not a fan of digital, personally. I think digital has a massive disconnect between between the artist and the canvas, and I just don't like that, personally. There's nothing wrong with digital, by any means, and if you like it, you like it. There's nothing against digital. But as someone who likes to relax as an artist, digital just doesn't do it for me. You've got a screen glaring in your eyes. You have too much stuff going on. You're sat at a computer. It's not the most comforting, warm environment. Now, if you do it on an iPad or something like that, that may have a different impact. I don't know. I don't use an iPad. I don't have an iPad. It's a very expensive piece of hardware, so I'm not going to be buying one of those. But also the disconnect, like I say, being disconnected from the process of artwork doesn't appeal to me. Having my hand on the raw materials, being able to feel the canvas, being able to see it move around by accident as I move my hand along, being able to stick to the table, all of these things, all of these minor things that go with being an artist, these are beautiful things that make the moment fantastic. So I love it. I love it a lot. Thank you guys so much for the hearts as well. I appreciate that. I see little hearts going off on the screen. That's a new feature to YouTube, and I love it. So I appreciate you all so much for doing those hearts. Thank you. It's a really cutesy feature, right? YouTube live streaming is so cool. I love YouTube. Like, I actually do. YouTube is, so it's no secret, YouTube is my favorite platform. It's not my favorite live streaming platform because obviously I live stream on Twitch, which you guys can interact with if you want to. The Twitch channel is there. It's in my description of this video, and you can support it over there if you want to. You can support the stream as well if you want to with whatever you want. You can do anything you want, but make sure you are following me over there because I will stream there regularly. But beyond that, YouTube is obviously just an incredible platform, and it has given me, well, it's not just given me, I think it's given everyone a chance at being the thing they want to be. Being an artist, being a creator to any capacity, whatever it is you want to do, you can do on YouTube. And I love it. There are difficulties and there are things that go on and happen that are problematic, but on the whole, YouTube allowed myself, for example, an autistic child, to be able to express himself on a platform. And this is something that would never be able to happen in the real world. I can't work a normal job. I can't socialize. I can't do these things. And YouTube has facilitated this and allowed me to be somebody and allowed me to do this career. So I love YouTube. It's just an incredible platform. And I really hope that they take their live streaming platform serious because it's beneficial to a lot of people. I think many people will benefit from this place. So yeah, I love it. And okay. I went away, but I regret it. What? Where did I get my glove from? So my glove comes from XP Pen, but you can get a glove from anywhere. It doesn't really matter too much. You can get any sort of glove, artist glove. They're all exactly the same. They don't really have any sort of special powers, except for, you know, my hand is awesome. So the power of my hand is the real secret to my skill. That was so bad. Terrible. Terrible. But I gotta say, I do like this live stream. I am enjoying myself over here. Obviously, Twitch is still the main place, but I do enjoy this. I do think it's a lovely little environment over here. What do you guys think of the quality as well? Is the quality good? I hope so. I know the camera's not great. The camera is... But my camera is a webcam, so... It's not ideal. I apologize for that. What more are we doing? We need to add some color to this as well, surely. It's really big, right? Huge. Sparrow's massive. He has a back leg here as well, but I think the back leg should come down. How low? How low can you go? I think like here maybe? Not sure where to hide the leg, but I think there. So we'll raise this one up a little bit. Raise your leg up. We'll have you, because these two need to be in line with each other. I'm pretty certain, like, having them in, maybe a little bit lower, actually. Tiny bit lower. Not in line, but, like, just a slight bit lower. Like there. That will do. That'll do. I like it. It looks good to me. Thank you so much. You guys are way too kind to me. Appreciate you. It's easy to find like-minded people online. It is indeed. It is indeed. This music is quite dreary. I don't know. I feel like it needs like... This is not lo-fi at all. So let's have a look for some lo-fi songs. Can we get some lo-fi music? Like this is... That was like so far away from lo-fi. It was just not... Nah. Let's go for this. Wait for it. Wait for it. It's so awkward when there's no music, right? It's just like, ooh. Oh. Ah, it's too loud. Okay. I hope this is okay. I hope this isn't too loud. Sorry for that, guys. So, can we get an 80s mix? I would love to play an 80s mix, but because... So, I paid for a license over here, the music that I'm playing. And for me to find an 80s mix, I'd have to locate an 80s mix within the playlists and stuff. So I am beholden to them. I have to sort of rely on what I can find there in the moment. And I don't want to spend too much time browsing to find an 80s mix. But in the future, we could definitely do an 80s mix for sure. If you follow me on my Twitch, I'll make sure to do an 80s mix. That'll be good. 80s is beautiful music, so we should definitely do that. What's your favorite type of music, actually, everyone? I'd love to know. 80s is my favorite type of music, so... Yeah. I love 80s. I'm curious how, like, wide I should go with this. I like this music as well. This music reminds me of, like, Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's very chill. Like, you know, you're doing stuff in the surrounding areas and... Nothing really is happening. It's just really nice and peaceful. I love Roller Coaster Tycoon music. It makes me so happy. Like, I actually cry to some music as well. This is a fun fact. I'm not joking here, by the way. I'm actually serious. So I actually cry to some music. Music has a power over me, which is beautiful, and I love it. And I think as I got older, I started to appreciate music more. When I was younger, I used to listen to a lot of hip-hop. I used to listen to a lot of rap. And as I got older, I started to listen to more instrumental music. Because I think instrumental music is... Instrumental music is, in my opinion, the best music because it allows your imagination to take over with the music and create a story. It's similar to reading. And I don't read, but it's an expression. And whenever I listen to instrumental music, I can cry. I can absolutely bawl my eyes out. And it wouldn't be through sadness. It would be through... It could be through joy. It could be through happiness. It could be through peacefulness. It could be through... Like this music right now, what I'm listening to, is actually getting me a little bit. This is really nice. I don't know what this sound is, but it's beautiful. It sounds incredible. And it's just invoking a emotion inside of me. And I love it. I love music so much. It's just incredible. I listen to heavy metal. It's a different vibe. I do listen to heavy metal, though. I am a big heavy metal fan. It's one of my favorite playlists. So I do listen to heavy metal pretty much every day. Every day I'll have Trivium, Bullet for My Valentine, or someone playing. Someone will be on. Just thinking about how I want to do these feet, because I'm going to change the claws up a little bit, but follow the general pattern of them. So, as you can see, we've got to make sure we have those lines nice and cleanly in there. Not a big fan of Slipknot. I listen to some of their music, but I'm not a big fan. Like, it's not... there's only few people that I'm a massive fan of, because I think like being a fan of a specific type of, or a specific artist is very difficult these days, because a lot of artists change their genres to match trends, right? So being a fan of an artist or one artist or one band is very difficult. You just don't know what they're going to play next, or some of their music isn't always consistently good. Like, I was just a huge fan of Avenged Sevenfold, and their latest album is not great. I don't like their latest album. And yeah, it goes like that. It's a weird one. So am I still a fan of Avenged Sevenfold? Yes, but I'm not a fan of all of their music. And that's one of the problems with saying, are you a fan of something? Because people then say, oh, what do you think of this song? What do you think of that song? So the only artist that I'm really like a fan of would be Linkin Park, because they've never really missed. Linkin Park is kind of always hit. So Linkin Park is who I am a fan of. Beyond that, Disturbed. Big fan of Disturbed. Never really miss either. So they're great. Evanescence, never really miss. But then I listen to a lot of other people within different, within these genres. And within the niches. Like I like Skepta, for example, and Stormzy. But, again, I don't like all of their stuff. So I'm not a fan of them. Even though I am a fan of them, I'm not a fan of them. If that makes any sense to anyone. Is it a pre-recorded video? No, I am live. Watch this. I don't know what that proved, but no, I am really here. Dare me to do something and I'll do it. I won't do it, but do it. I won't. Crush 40. Oh my gosh. Crush 40 in his world. We're one and a... My gosh. The Sonic the Hedgehog band. Life's an open book in his... What? Oh my goodness me. What channel are you? My Twitch channel is in the description of this video. If you would like to join us over on Twitch, you can do so. We are not multi-streaming, but the Twitch chat is open and the Twitch chat is there. I can't communicate with you in Twitch right now, but you are free to do your bits. You are free to do your subs. You are free to do everything, and it will pop up on screen. So all of your love is appreciated as much as I can appreciate you. I do appreciate you. I love you. A lot. So, question right now. Hello. Whose first time is it? Is it your first time? There's that I messed up everything that I was saying there. Do it be your first time here? How are you? Woo! Broke my nails. Nails? Broke my knuckles. I broke my nails. It was not my nails. It was my knuckles. Why are comments coming and going? I dare you to do a cartwheel on the table. Yeah, right. Do you know how old I am? Wait, you do know how old I am. You guys have seen my latest video, right? I am old. I am really old. Like, I don't think you realize how old I am. I'm 79. I am old. Like, it's just over for me. At this point, it's just over. There's just, wow. It's terrible. My eyesight is gone. I'm not looking at top chat. No, I'm looking at live chat. So I don't know why it's, yeah, I don't know why some of those messages were removing. But no, I'm looking at all chat. You guys guessing my age? How dare you? Look, Cake Chicken, I'm a bit of both, right? I'm 62, I'm 65, I'm 79, right? I'm somewhere in that ballpark. You don't know how old I am, but I'm really old. I'm old. Really old. I shaved, so I don't really have, like, the white hair anymore. It's not there, but trust me. It is there. It's just you can't see it because it's shaved and I plucked. I stood in that mirror. I don't have a mirror there, but in that mirror, I stood in it. I wish this was YouTube video so I can edit in a mirror there, but boop, there's a mirror. But yeah, I stood in a mirror. Right? We're gonna run with that. And I didn't like what I saw, so relatable. Can't cap that high. I'm gonna make everyone feel old. Good. Good. If I'm old, you all deserve to feel old too. But I hope everyone is enjoying themselves over here today. I know it's a little bit of a impromptu, different type of stream. And it was supposed to be an educational stream teaching you how to draw. But I guess you're just going to have to learn by watching because this trailed off dramatically. There is no education going on here. There is none. This is just me doing this drawing. So hopefully you are somewhat taking something away from this. I don't know. Are you learning anything today? Probably not. But I think I think there are a few takes from this. With the biggest one being that as you're sketching, it should be a robotic motion. Because I know many of you are just going to copy. Many of you are interested in artwork by drawing your favorite things. You probably don't want to create your own original artwork. That's something that I would do. That's something that I have a career for and that I make original stuff to sell. Because I don't sell copyrighted material, obviously. So I don't make prints and stuff like that. I abide by the laws of that stuff. But I'm sure many of you are looking to make artwork as a bit of fun, right? You're looking to make artwork as a way of relaxing, as you would read a book. You want to chill out at the end of the day, have a nice relaxing time, and just draw your favorite characters. So what I would say to that is, you don't want to think about it. You want to put on your favorite music, listen to your favorite music, have your favorite series on. You want to do anything but think about the process. And I can't stress this enough. I know it sounds like just the worst advice ever, but I cannot stress this enough. Just stop thinking about what it is you're doing, please. If you are copying something, there is no reason for you to sit there and think about it. No reason at all. It should be a robotic motion. It should be just a fluid observation, and you're doing it. You shouldn't be taking time. You really should not be taking time thinking about stuff at all. That's complete opposite of what you should be doing. You should be outside of your own head. Not if you're doing original artwork. If you're doing original artwork, think about it. You have to. But if you're doing copying, if you're drawing your favorite characters, if you're just relaxing, jamming out, then just do that. Relax. You always get proportions wrong. Again, to what end do you get proportions wrong? So this is very important because I do get these questions a lot regarding proportions and stuff like that. Now, if you're copying, the only thing you're getting wrong is your observations, your skills of looking at something and replicating it. That's the only thing you're getting wrong there. You're not getting proportions wrong. You're not getting shading wrong. You're not getting this wrong. You're not getting that wrong. The only thing you're getting wrong is your observational skills and your hand-eye coordination. That's the only thing you're getting wrong when you're copying. When you're actually doing original artwork, then you're getting things like proportional wrong because that takes education. That takes a knowledge within what it is you're doing to do. You're producing something that's original, that's coming from within you, and you are not directly copying. So that's what's happening there. And as soon as you can understand that and learn from that, you can start to grow on that. Now, your skill with your hand-eye coordination can be taught, can be trained. There is a talent to that aspect where you could be born with very, very good hand-eye coordination. But at the same time, you can be taught to train that as well, and you can try improving on that. And we do that by just doing drills, by drawing over and over again. The more and more you draw, the better your hand-eye coordination becomes, and the better you are replicating those things. Professional artists, whenever they draw something, within reason, they usually always have a reference on standby. It doesn't matter what it is they are drawing, even if it is an original character. When I drew Bob, I had references. Now, those references were things like Naruto. Those references were Dragon Ball. I have these references. They do not correlate to the actual piece of artwork that I'm making, but they relate in the aspect of making proportions correct, in making things make sense within a drawing. So that's what's happening there, and that's what people are doing when they make original artwork. They are still using these references and these guides, but they're using them in a different way. And it's very rare that they'll ever not do that. Have they learned to do proportions? Yes, absolutely. Have I learned to do proportions? Yes, I do know how to do proportions, and I have learned how to do that. But I don't have the ingrained knowledge that some people who truly study proportions do have. So there are artists out there who can give you guides and lessons on the scaling from, say, drawing the shoulder width equal distance to whatever proportion areas, right? They'll tell you the exact measurements and how things would be. Now, that's a completely different side of things. That's someone who has really honed in their skill, or their education, sorry, on that topic. I haven't done that. What I've done is had observations and made the observations of the skeletal and the muscular structure of human anatomy, and through that I understand it and I'm able to do the proportions. Doesn't mean that I do them perfectly, but I have that in my mind, so I'm able to replicate where muscles should be and where things should go. And I also know the proportions between the muscles of how long the biceps should be in relation to the forearms, the triceps, the deltoids. I know these relations. Some people know the skeletal structure. Some people know the polygon structure. So there are so many different avenues when you do artwork, and so many different things that you can try to learn, but you don't have to always retain that information. You can get by with referencing. And referencing is very different to copying. What I'm doing right here is copying. Referencing is very different. Referencing is taking an image and then altering it to a new image, to a new thing. That's different. And that's something we could talk about. But that is what I do whenever I make my YouTube videos. They are referenced. So I take my YouTube videos, I'll take a character. Let's just say if I'm drawing, there's no real example of this because I don't know off the top of my head, but if I just wanted to draw Superman, I might take an image of Wolverine that I think looks like a really cool pose, and I'll take the Wolverine pose and I'll reimagine it to Superman. Now, they both have very muscular definitions, but I might have to change the way that the muscles are implemented into the character's design. But fundamentally, I'm making that structure, that image of Wolverine into Superman. And that would be a reference. That would be using a reference. Now, a copy would be redrawing Wolverine as that. That would be a copy. But it wouldn't be a reference. I know there was a huge conflict and point of discussion between Dragon Ball. There was a manga release where the artist had several times used, I think it was Superman, as the basis for Goku's design. And many people in the Dragon Ball. Now, Dragon Ball is known for being quite a controversial demographic. It's quite a controversial area. And we saw a huge influx of people having a go at the artist for using the foundation of these images as the basis for the Dragon Ball characters. This has been done for generations. Nearly every single image that you've ever seen of your favorite characters is likely sourced from somewhere. Maybe it's not an original art, maybe it's not from someone else's piece, but it's most likely a gymnast, it's most likely a bodybuilder, it's most likely a figure skater. There are so many things that here has been sourced from. The difference is how it is implemented. So is the idea stolen? That's a different matter. So if there is a unique fighting style or a pose, say the Kamehameha. The Kamehameha is basically... Now, I'm not sure. I think Street Fighter came first. I don't know. Someone's going to have to tell me on this one. Did Street Fighter... Did Street Fighter come before? Because I know the Kamehameha came in the... Was it the early 90s? I don't think it was the late 80s. I think it was the early 90s. So I can't remember if the I don't remember what it's called in Hadouken. I don't remember what it's called in Street Fighter. But did that come first? I think Dragon Ball came first. I'm not sure. That's the point of discussion right there. But they're identical. They are the same thing. So one of those definitely referenced the other. One of those referenced someone. We had the similar thing with Supersonic and stuff like that. But it's about taking an idea. Now, Supersonic is a very contentious one because the release date between the two of them is way too close for it to have actually been copied. So I think that was a pure coincidence. I do not believe at any degree that it was stolen because Supersonic, it just released way too soon. It was like literally a couple of months. So to release something in a video game in a couple of months, no. It just doesn't, no. There's no way. Okay, so Street Fighter came first then. So Dragon Ball pretty much stole Street Fighter's move, essentially. I would be led to believe then. That would be something I'd have to research and have a look into. But yeah, that was a clear direct inspiration and reference, whichever way it went. But I was just trying to use an example there or something. But what matters is the implementation of it and how is the idea implemented. We've seen so many times that laser vision, right? We have Superman, who pretty much is the origin of laser vision. How many characters have laser vision? Are we going to say that Cyclops has stolen Superman's power? There are so many ways of implementing these things into them and taking the ideas and putting those into them. So when we saw this huge discussion and conflict in the communities of people saying that this was stolen because somebody had basically traced a pose and put their character over the pose, I don't think that is a fair thing to say. I think that is just someone used a clear reference of an image and they altered it. It is not the original image. It is not the one that they saw. It's not the one that you saw. It is it's a new image. And you cannot license and patent a pose. Just want to say that right now. A pose, a human anatomy pose is a pose. It cannot be trademarked. It cannot be copyrighted. You cannot copyright someone doing this. It just can't be copyrighted. So that can be adapted in any way. Just because you find something that's similar or something that exists out there. Yeah. And my basic point that I'm getting to here, long-winded point. The point that I'm getting to here is that you should never be afraid of referencing. You shouldn't be afraid of referencing. Copying is a different matter. Copying is something that I use to train my hand-skill coordination, hand-eye skill coordination. That's what copying does for me. But it also allows me to just have fun when I'm sketching and just do what I want to do when I want to do. It's a completely different thing. It means something different and it is a different purpose. So never let somebody tell you, because this will happen a lot when you start creating. All you do is original artwork, or all you do is copy. You know, everyone just loves to tell you this comment about you should always be original. Don't let anyone tell you that, because at the end of the day, you are still working on your skills. The only problem comes if you are selling it. If you are selling your copied work, you are in breach of many violations and you shouldn't be doing that. That's the only time. So. Oh, so Dragon Ball stole the move. We discovered something. We discovered something. I'm going to be quiet. Spark the world's biggest discussion. If I ever tweeted that out or said that. Street Fighter stole it. Uh-oh. Wait, what? Oh, it was 2 years before it. Oh, it was the other way around. Uh-oh. Well, you know what? You know what? You're not going to like this one. Street Fighter. Dragon Ball, sorry. Dragon Ball stole the origin story. The origin story of Superman. I'm just saying. Just saying. It's the biggest controversial moment ever when you say something like that. It's like, what? How dare you say that? It's different. One of them was sent to save the planet. One of them was sent to destroy the planet. What about artists who are commissioned? Copy a masterpiece. It doesn't matter. Okay. I don't know how much clearer I can be on this point. Selling fan art is not legal. It is not. It is an infringement of copyright. Now, the copyright holder is the only one who can enforce that. The copyright holder is the only person who can say that you are breaching their copyright. Copyright holders are sometimes very lenient. There are many companies out there who allow fan art to be sold on small scale. There are many who allow it to be sold at conventions. So there are some companies, and I will not advise you on these things, seek legal counseling if that's what you want to do. But I recommend that you do not sell fan art. That's just my thing right here. I recommend you don't do it. A YouTube video, live streams, things like this are different. You are monetizing a video. You're monetizing a process. You're monetizing all of these aspects that go into it. This is a transformative process. The final piece is not being sold as a physical item, so it doesn't matter. It's not a thing. But the problem with selling an individual item and a physical item that you are trading off for money, you are selling someone's copyright. So that is something separate. You'll have to seek legal counseling for that. It doesn't matter if you're commissioned. It doesn't matter if someone says to you, can you draw this image for me? That is a... You're playing with fire and you are risking yourself. It is your decision. I will not advise you on this. Yeah, there are many things that are in a public thing. Again, you need to seek this yourself. I am not going to give you guys advice on that stuff. That is up to you to research. And there is information out there. It can get complicated. And again, I would say that whenever you want to do something, you should look at the brands first, look at the companies first, and see what the company's policy is on fan art. Many companies do have a fan art policy. You can go to Marvel and you can find it. You can go to Disney and you can find it. So look at these companies and see what their fan art policies are. They'll have the policies there. You also have an option to purchase a trading license as well, which you can purchase. It will cost you a lot of money, but you can purchase a trading license if you wish to go that route. That probably wouldn't embody fan art, but you can look and you can see. There are options out there and there are many things out there. You'll need someone with a much better grasp on this information than me as well to tell you. But I would always say, if you're going to do anything like that, I can just tell you that you are breaching copyrights. So, you're playing with fire. You're playing with fire. Drawings of portraits. So again, when you're drawing a person, the person has the right to their image. Now, some people forfeit the right to their image when they become public. There are special circumstances for that, though, and I can't remember the times. You'll have to look into that. There are special circumstances. I don't have it, and I won't enforce copyright. So if you draw me, as long as it's not defamation, then I wouldn't go at you for it. But if it is just fan art and just fun drawings of me, of course I'm going to love it. I'm not going to bloody... What am I going to do? Sue you for drawing me and selling it? I'd be flattered. I would be honored for you to do it, and you have the rights to do it, and I will allow you. You can say this right now, actually. If I say this right now, it becomes a legal right. So if I say you have the right to draw me, you have the right to draw me. There you go. That is actually a legal thing. This happened with, there was an actor. You have to look up the story, but it was an actor. There was an actor or an actress, and they said it. They had said that it was, that they liked it and they welcomed it, and in doing so, they had given up the right. And that allowed the right to be, yeah, they were allowed to be drawn like that. So you can do stuff like that. Parody obviously always falls into things like that. But there are some actors who don't allow it. There are some actors who do enforce copyright over their image. And it's a very weird law. You'll have to look into that because there are so many caveats to it. And I don't have the full education on it, nor am I a copyright lawyer to be able to advise you on it. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but there are details to it, and it's definitely worth looking into. But just know that if you feel like you're doing wrong, I think this is the biggest thing, and the biggest point that I can give you. If you feel like you're doing wrong, you probably are. Like in life, there's a life lesson there. If you think that what you have done is wrong, it probably was. So don't do it. And that's kind of the same thing with art. If you are in doubt, do a little bit of searching. Like, yeah. I will not finish the drawing. Can't stay long. No problem, DM. Oh, yes, guys. We are in live chat right now. So if you do want to chat with us, you are free to do so. I welcome everyone chatting. And I love all your questions, actually. It's amazing. Many artworks are public domain, yes. There are many artworks and music that are public domain. Again, I'm in no position to educate you on that and say to you, or inform you on that and let you know if there's any legality to what you're saying. I don't know. You'll have to look up to that because some people, like, for example, not every museum has the rights to the artwork that they display. Sometimes the artist's family or generation family, they'll have the right to it, and they are the ones who hold the copyright. So I think Starry Night is in the public domain. I think, off the top of my head. So I think that is something that can be adapted. I'm not sure, but I do know that some very famous paintings are in the public domain and can be replicated. I know there's a big discussion right now about Mickey Mouse because Mickey Mouse will be coming into the public domain. And is it Mickey Mouse? I think it's Mickey Mouse. But knowing Disney, I would imagine they will find a loophole to retain the right and it won't go public. I'm curious to see what will happen with that because obviously I'm not staying up to date with the information, so maybe it's already passed. I don't know. But I'm sure someone's going to... Chloe does Starry Night quite a lot. Yep. It doesn't matter to what capacity you sell, whether you sell privately or not. A breach of copyright is a breach of copyright. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And I think one of the biggest things that everyone should know right now is it doesn't matter how big or small you are. Yes, there is a chance that a bigger creator will get more leeway. A bigger creator is seen as a positive form of advertising. And we do see that there is a double standard. And unfortunately, and I will say this with the utmost respect to everyone, that a double standard is the way of life. You know, you have companies out there that provide free merchandise and free gear to creators. And you're not going to get that because you don't bring a market to them. So when a company gives me unlimited, like, I'll be honest with you, I haven't paid for markers in many years. Markers just turn up at my doorstep. I have markers and they just come to me. And that happens because I bring great market value to those companies. So when they give me those markers, Whether they're sponsored or not is irrelevant. Sometimes they're sponsored, which obviously I have to disclose if they are sponsored. But sometimes they just give me markers and they just never feature in a video if they do that. But I only accept them if they pay me. And yeah, they do that because obviously I bring them a market value. I give them customers. They get something out of it. That's why we receive it. And it's a similar thing to when you see an artist doing something that may etch on the lines of copyright abuse or something like that. We do see some creators getting away with things that a smaller person or somebody who doesn't have a platform may not get away with. And that is just up to the copyright holder. The copyright holder will decide if they want to allow it or not. They'll look at the person, they'll see if it's financially viable, they'll see what the case is, and then they'll just go, you know what, this is what we want to do. And it's their right to do so with their copyright. The best thing that I can say, and the best way that I advise this, is imagine for a second that you have a piece of artwork, or you have something, you have an idea. What are your limits to that idea? And then think to that if you're doing it yourself. And that's where I think about it. So I created Bob and Sally. We have those characters. They exist as characters. They are now official characters out there. And I now think about what would I find acceptable. If somebody was selling artwork or selling plushies or character designs of my characters, I would not be happy with that. And that is not okay. So for me, that's the bar. And that's where my limit is, because I am the copyright holder of those characters. So I can enforce that if I wish. And I think that's how you have to look at it. Create your character and think to yourself, what are my limits with this character? What do I think is acceptable with this character? And that is what is most likely the truth of that copyright. You want to be a creator for sponsored stuff. So being a creator, we can touch on that for a little bit. Yeah, we can talk about this. So being an artist and being a creator, specifically an artist, we'll talk about that because I think it relates to this topic that we've got on this YouTube video. So being an art creator, we do get many companies contact us and want to give us free merchandise. When you're not a creator, so a few years ago, I was very small, I was up and coming, and I would receive things for free, and I would be very grateful for it, and I would love it, and I always wanted it. I was like, I'd never have to pay for things again, I really want this, and you get very excited about it. Skip forward to today. I have 3,000 markers, and I don't want them! Oh, no, look. Right. I like my markers. I like my markers a lot, and I use my markers. But my job is using markers. I do not need 3,000 markers. I do not need 7 sets of the same marker. I am honestly fine. I don't need any more. When a new product comes out, I'll take it. But I do not need all of these markers. I'm not giving them. They're mine. I'm not giving them away. They're mine. I don't want them, but they're mine. What's wrong with you? What do you think this is? It's like you don't even know me at all. Lizzle, thank you so much. But no, yeah, you get to a point where you do start receiving a lot of free stuff. And many people see it in one way and some people see it in another. I think when you're in that position, you understand it. So you've seen Jazz's... go back to Jazza. You've seen Jazz's studios, right? And you've seen his warehouse where he's searching around trying to find all of his stuff. And you see how it looks. It's a warehouse. It's a warehouse of stuff that he has received over the years. He probably hasn't bought half of that. And he had to find somewhere to put it. And that's the same thing as me. I've had to buy storage and cabinets to place my items that I've received. You start to receive more than you can actually use because, like I say, it's like working a shop. If you work a food shop and you continuously receive these things, where do you store it? If you're not selling it, where does it go, right? You have to find a spot for it. So it does become a bit of an inconvenience, and that is an issue. But, no, I'm not selling them. No, Sarah, wait. You're not getting what I'm saying here. I may not want them, and I may not be happy that I've got so many of them, but I love them, and they're mine. And it's like children. These are like my kids. I may not want them. Oh, just stretch. How you doing, everyone? No, digital is... Oh, man. I gotta say, I am enjoying streaming, though. This is so much fun. I love it. It's super relaxing. I feel... I was supposed to be doing a proper lesson here. I guess. Not a lesson, but like explaining how I do things. And that's just gone out the window. That is completely gone. You're welcome. Just gone. I've just started being myself again. I love streaming though. I feel like streaming is such a positive vibe. It just feels fantastic to be able to be you for a set amount of time in the day before you go back to making content. And while content creation is definitely you, you are putting a lot more of the artificial side of it into there. You're putting the intentional comedy in there, or the skits or the cuts in the videos. So you're putting that stuff in there, and it's not completely true. It's not completely to who you are or what you wanted to do in that moment. Like right now, I do some weird noises and stuff. I just do strange things, and that just, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I don't even know what day it is. Hi. New plan. Pretty much my motto. Right? I always have a new plan. So my mind races at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it really does get quite difficult to stay focused on the things that I'm doing, which is why I like to do artwork like this sometimes, where I'm not thinking about the artwork. I'm not sat here going through the thought process which would come with doing original art. So when you're doing original artwork, you are thinking about everything. You are thinking about the scales of things and where things go and the placements of everything. But when you're doing copying and you're drawing your favorite things, you're not thinking about any of that stuff. You're robotically just going through the motions of drawing and moving your hand around. And this is such a beautiful feeling because it allows me to go back to the roots of what artwork meant to me. When I was before I was a YouTuber, when I was just a young creator or a young artist, I never cared about the process, right? I never cared about I guess I sort of cared about the end result, but it wasn't a pressure like it is with YouTube now. So when I'm making my videos, I have to think to myself about how I want this video to look, how I want the outcome of it. All of the aspects of the video must be thought out and pre-planned. And while I'm doing it, my mind is racing 1,000,000 miles an hour, trying to just focus down on one thing while I'm distracted by everything else. But when I'm doing this, and I'm talking to you guys, I'm not thinking about this. Like, I haven't thought about this drawing at all. I mean, the eyeballs I started to think about a little bit, and that was getting a little bit frustrating. But right now, I'm robotically doing these motions and getting through all of this, and it feels nice. I don't care if it looks good. I don't care if it's an appealing drawing. All I care about is just doing it while we talk. And it's lovely. It's a lovely feeling to do this now. It feels fantastic. I'm going to, like, make a mark where I think the knees are going to be. Not knees, but whatever those areas are of Spyro. You were young? I know, right? I was young once? God, that was like so long ago. I don't remember being young. My latest video was fantastic. Going through the original drawings that I had done when I was a kid. And the mindset as well, I think, was one of the best things. Is thinking about the times when I was young and how different my thought process is with art. So when I was young, I would draw very cleanly, very straight. There was never a rushed moment in my childhood artwork. It was a very precise thing, which now it's not. Now, as you can see by my artwork, it's very much a messy mess of guidelines and random things that happen at random points in time, and you never really know where it's going to go next. Even if I'm copying, it's like that. It's like, you know, I don't know. This tile's going to be very small, by the way. But yeah, you just never know what's going to happen. And I like this new approach. I think the new approach is pretty good. It's different, but it's much freer. I'm obviously a much better artist now than I was as a kid. So I'm able to, or am I? I don't know, actually. We watched my latest video. Am I a better artist than I was? It's up for debate. What do you guys think? Have I improved in 20 years? 20 years! Ay, ay, ay. As an artist, 20... My oldest drawing in that folder is something like 25 years. 25 years. That is a long time to commit to something. 25 years. Long, long, long time. And when someone says to me, how long does it take to become a good artist? It's like, I started saving my drawings 25 years ago. I was probably drawing before that. Well, I was. Think about that. Just think about that for a second. That's a lifetime of being an artist, of drawing and training myself to be able to do it. And when somebody wants to know if there's a secret or a shortcut to artwork, there isn't. There really isn't. I think we're going to start doing some coloring, guys. I think we're good. There's really not much more to do. So we can get on with doing that coloring, which, yeah, that'll be good. The step then is to erase everything. And we need to, the reason I was doing all those hard lines, as you're going to see right now, as I erase everything, the things that will remain are going to be those hard lines and basically the purposeful design that I left behind. So I'm not sure how visible the drawing will be. You have to let me know if you can see it. But as you can see here, just erasing all of the rough guidelines. And all we'll have left is a super basic design. And today I'm going to be using the Copic markers because they're next to me from the last video. So might as well use them. And we'll see how they go. I love this process, because you get to see the actual fruits of your labor at the end. And remember what I say, never judge an artist in the work in progress. The work in progress stage is a work in progress. And a work in progress to an artist, which it should mean, I know a lot of people don't take this serious, but a work in progress should mean a work in progress. People don't understand this. I see people posting like work in progresses, and a work in progress would be like a finalized drawing that looks fantastic. And I'm like, that ain't a work in progress. That's a finished idea. You know exactly what you've done. That is done. And a work in progress should literally be something that can take different paths. Something that is rough. Something that is in the working stages. Is being built. And you shouldn't be boxing yourself into a corner of how the result needs to go. You should be free enough to change your mind as you go. Which is what I do. The outlines here are completely what I'm happy with, but the shading is going, the rough sketches are going, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know when I start adding color what's going to happen next, where the next shadows will be, where the next line works will be. I don't know what's going to happen. And I don't plan all that stuff. That just happens as we go. So we're almost done with the erasing. The guidelines are almost gone. And hopefully everyone can see this. I'm not happy with the towel, I'll be honest with you, but I don't care. I mean, to be fair, that is my motto whenever I do artwork on Twitch. I'm always saying, you know, I don't care. Because I don't. And I truly don't. It may seem it when I create a piece of artwork, and maybe it comes out good in the end. But the truth of the matter is I don't care. I'm not creating the artwork to care. I'm creating the artwork to feel good. Creating the artwork for you, which is what I'm doing right here. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it so that we can have a conversation. But I don't care how it looks in the end. Like, it doesn't need to look good. It's a process that matters to me. I've got beyond that now. I've gone like old. So right, let's make a mess on the floor. I'll do it this way. We're gonna make a mess. I'm gonna hoover up my floor tomorrow, so it's okay. There's one problem with shavings or erasing. It's always this. Hopefully this will look good though. See what you guys think about it. So there is your pencil sketch. Can you see it? Oh, I need to blow my nose. 1 second, guys. Oh. Excuse me. Hi, I'm back. Right, let's go. It's still visible. Fantastic. Okay, so let's do this then. We're going to be using the Copic, whatever these are called, chows. And let's see how this goes. Get some paper. Now, whenever I do my videos and whenever you do your artwork, this is your first steps and what you should always be doing. Oh my god, my nose is so itchy. So you want to pick out your colors. Now, I'm not a great color picker. So what I'm going to start with, I think we'll start with the yellow areas because they're going to map off the surrounding places. I wouldn't suggest it. Personally, I would say the purple. Should I start with the purple? The purple is what I would say you should start with. You should always start with the darkest colors first, because the darker colors are going to set the gradient for your entire piece. If you start with the light colors, it goes wrong. But you know what? I don't care. We're going to make my life difficult and start with this. So we need some gold. All right. So, again, I don't care too much, as is tradition. So we just... What color is that? All right. Yeah, so I just go with the colors. Whichever one is usually the first one I pick out, I just go with it. So yellow. I eyeball it. I think that people think too much about this stuff, and it ruins your artwork in the end. You know, just stop thinking about stuff. Just, what's that color? Leonette Gold. Nah, it's too light. But yeah, just eyeball the colors and pick them. Don't... There you go, that works. All right, that'll do. I usually work between 3 and 4 colors. I don't really go beyond that. I think 3 or 4 colors is more than enough to color in your artwork. If you start going beyond that, then... Oh, God. This happens, by the way. Once we start, you'll see what I mean. All right. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So, I start with the one color. And this is my process for coloring. This is going to be a tutorial now. I'm actually going to sit... 2 hours into the live stream, he goes to a tutorial. Here we go. So, the first thing I do is I get my first color. And with the first color, I lay down the areas that I want. And this gives me my bases for the piece. So, the first thing I'm going to do is just map off the half of this. And I don't care about the coloring. I don't care if it looks good. That's not what this is whenever I do these. It's just, it's a nice feeling. It's a nice process. And people ask me often, how do I do my shading? And how do I do my whatevers? By not caring. I do it by literally treating the markers as just a instrument and just flow them around. Sort of like an orchestra. You know the guy with the little stick and he's throwing it around? Just doing that. So as you can see here, now I get my next pen and the other pen stays in my hand. So I start coloring with this one. So we're doing basically similar to what we've got going on up here on my reference. Just to make my life easy so I don't have to think about it. But I do color, usually when I do shading and stuff, I usually do it freestyle. I don't really think about, look at a reference. But for this one, we'll look at the reference and I'll try and replicate it a little bit. But yeah, so what I'm doing, just throwing these down quickly, not taking too much care with them. And I have got a sort of an idea with pen pressure sensitivity. As you can see, the pen is still staying here. This is the process on how I draw. This is very important, by the way. So if you are wondering how to do all of this stuff, this is how you do it. So you can see I just swapped my fingers and I moved it around. So now I'm back onto this one. This is super important to being an efficient artist and removing your mind from your piece. Again, this is all this is. Removing my mind as much as I can from my art. So again, now I know without thinking, I've got this one in my hand again. And the same thing is going to happen when I switch over to my third pen. I'm not thinking about the pen. I'm not thinking to myself, which color is what. I have in the past, very rarely, but I have in the past picked up the wrong color by doing this. So I'll go like that. And then I might accidentally just scoop up the wrong one or get the wrong nib or whatever. But doing this, I'm removing every single thing. Now I switch to this one. So you can see these order of these pens have stayed there. They're now in a new order. So we're going into the shading bit. So this one needs to be just a little bit more of a harsh line. We'll keep it coming up to the edge as well. And again, this one is only slightly different to the next layer, the bottom layer, which I'll go onto in a sec. So I want to keep this one as tight as possible. And then we switch over. And the order is now in the order that I need it in. Because, as you can see, I'm going from the deepest color to the second color, which now goes in my hand. Deepest, second, and now I'm going to my lightest color. And then I do, and even if I don't need to do it, I do it. Even if I don't need to, because now I'm back to my deepest color. So now my deepest color, I go back down to this area. And this is not thought out. I'm not thinking about this process at all. I'm not looking at my pens at all. I don't think about where those pens are. And this is why I keep 3 to 4 pens. And this is why I color the way that I color. So if you ever want to know how I do this, I do it. And even though I don't need to use it, I'm going to use this pen. I do 1, 2 lines and I put it back because I keep the pattern. So now I'm back to the start. Now that I'm back to the start of this, I'm going to my deepest pen. So now I'm back to this one, which will reset the entire process. So with this one, I go into those corners. And this one's a little bit more of a finer one. So with this, I'm putting those lines right in there and doing this. And then I know again, without looking, I'm now back to my deepest color. And because I've only chose 3 or 4 pencils or pens, it works with pencils, I know exactly which one is next. And I have it ready to go. And this is how you do it. I am so tired of seeing people, whenever I watch someone doing artwork, I see them with an abundance of markers all over the table, and they're sat there trying so hard to figure out which pen do I need to use next. I'm back to the start. I know which pen I need to use. If I'm now, obviously I was doing this rushing it because I would have finished all this first, but now I'm in this position where I can't use this pen because of all of these areas. But so what? I'm just going to go straight into it and use it for this area. It doesn't matter. It's not that important. This isn't that big of a deal. As long as you make sure that you are removing that mindset. So look, I'm going into this, even though I haven't done the other deep tone, I've just skipped forward a tone. So what? It's not that big of a deal. So here we go. This is a super thick line, by the way. I didn't mean to do that, but oh well. It's whatever. Taking that mind out of this, most important thing you possibly do. I'm going to keep stressing it because, honestly, my whole thing is that people learn to just enjoy the process of artwork, and the only way you can enjoy it is by not thinking about it. There is way too much pressure and stress on people, especially with the age of social media, where we want to be graded by our peers, and we want people to see our artwork and say that we're the best, and say that we're doing good, and say everything nice about us that we could possibly think of. And doing that is so unhealthy. It makes you so under pressure. It really, really does. I was there. I was in a position once where I wanted to... Your OBS is freezing? Is the stream freezing? Or is your... Wait, what do you mean your OBS is freezing? Is my stream okay, guys? I haven't actually asked if my stream is okay today. Is my stream looking good? Can I make more pencil art videos? So, I'll do pencil videos when I feel... Oh, thank you so much. So, I'll do pencil videos when I feel like doing pencil videos. Right now, I'm not really in that moment or mood for it. But if you want pencil stuff, I do it on streams. So, that's a place where you can get those pencil things. Definitely. So, again, we're in this position. So, I'm going to skip this one and go back to this one. I don't need to go heavy dark down here. So, I can just move along. But I do that without thinking, because I know exactly what I'm doing. Again, I've set it into my mind. It's a habit. I've set it in there. So please, my biggest advice to you, everyone who's watching this, and I know I'm repeating myself here, but it bears repeating. It really, really does. If you want to get good at using markers, stop thinking about it. Make sure that you use my method, I guess. My method is probably one of the best methods to use. No, it's not. Make up your own method, but my method is there if you wish to use. And again, as you can see right here, I don't really need to use it, but I'm going to use it just to reset my mind and reset what I'm doing. So there you go. And now I'm back to the deepest one. And I can use it if I want to, just to get the tiny little lines in there. Just to add that little bit of depth. And that is sorted. Easy does it. And that's how you do it. Now I can just reset all of these markers and we're back to the deepest one. Or I can just go the other way and do it like that. So shall we go the other way? We'll reset all the way back. Yeah, easy. I would actually love to watch your videos and follow along, draw with them. I mean, my YouTube videos exist, so you are free to watch my YouTube videos. I would love to make tutorials, and if I had the mental capabilities to do it, I would definitely make more tutorials, but I am way too out there. Probably a side effect of my condition. I guess I'm banned from saying my disability now, which actually got me very upset yesterday. I was in a very bad mood yesterday after finding out that my disability that I spent many, many years trying to get a diagnosis from is no longer a term that should be used for it, which very much upset me. But yeah, beyond that, I think it is a side effect of it, and the mannerisms and the way that I perform. I don't think I'm very much capable of doing tutorials, because I can only be serious for so long before I start messing around and I get distracted. So I'm definitely different, and I know that a lot of people don't like that. So yeah, it's a bit strange. As you can see, I'm resetting my markers, by the way. So, again, I'm doing this. And when I move on to the next tones, by the way, I'll reset them again. So when I move on to the next ones, I'll pick 3 or 4, just the same, all the same. I always do 3 or 4. I'll pick up those 3, I'll pick up those 4, and then I'll just start making the same things again. When I do 3 or 4, I usually use less when I'm doing a lighter area. So if I'm doing like the eyeballs, for example, then I'll probably use 3 tones. If I'm doing the... Say if I was working with black, so if I was working in say Batman, then I would probably even go further. I might even go like 5, 6. I could go really far with the amount of markers that I'm using. It does depend on the amount of depth that I'm looking to get, and obviously how much I can achieve with the type of markers that I'm using. But yeah, you don't want to think about it. I'm gonna keep repeating it. I know it's annoying, right? It's like, oh god, I know you don't want to think. I get it, but hey, the more and more I say it, I think the more and more people will remember not to think when they're doing it. And all I want to do is just make more artists. I just want more people to be inspired and feel good. I might add a little bit of a shadow underneath all of this. Now that I'm thinking about it, could be good. Why not? I'm here. Might as well do something. Might as well try. I'm sure it's not going to look great by the end. But I did miss being a serious artist. So when I made the redraw series, I got to use... Why am I not doing line work? Because I want to just try without line work. Not doing line work is kind of fun sometimes. The challenge is there. But yeah, so when I did the redraw series, I wanted to attempt to try and do a not so serious piece of art, right? I wanted to have a little bit of fun, and no, I wanted to try and do a serious piece. Sorry, I'm always doing not so serious piece. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm always doing not so serious pieces of artwork. My artwork is always fun. It's always free. It's always me just messing around in coloring books, whatever, right? And coloring isn't really something that I think about at all. It's just something that I just do. But I wanted to try it. I wanted to try and make something that I think people would like. So I really went for it with the Mario piece, and gosh, and it worked out really nicely. I think it was a great piece of artwork. It was a nice change of pace to actually do something. And I think it was funny reading all the comments of everyone that was surprised that I could actually draw. There were so many compliments of people saying how good it was as a drawing. And oh gosh. And yeah, I just found it hilarious because obviously I spend so much of my career messing around that I think everyone forgets that I do have my original artistic talents and skills. I was able to draw. I was able to do these things. I was a portrait artist before I started anything. So it's really cool to see that I can still retain much of that and produce artwork that it is of a good quality. It was very happy for me. It was a very happy moment for me. I felt great about it. It was fantastic. Hey Arish, how are you? It looks better without the line work. It does. It really does look better without the line work. I agree. I agree. I don't want to spend too much time on these horns though. I feel like the horns are going to get really boring. So I'll do the horns and then I'll do the head. I'm not going to bother doing this bit just yet. So we'll just like jump forward, I think. Could be fun. I do like to do them in areas. So like do one area, then do another area. And that's just because I think it's a lot less confusing for myself. And I won't forget the next day. So if I like wake up and I do it. But the chances of me finishing this are very slim. It's very unlikely that I will. I don't tend to finish much of my artwork. It's not really something that I'm that into. When I was younger, I used to always finish my artwork. I used to have this like super pet peeve about not finishing work. And when you get older, you start to not really care too much about that. You do artwork until you don't want to do artwork anymore. And then you stop. And yeah, I like that I've got that now. Because now I just don't need to have any pressure. There's really no need for it. I am liking doing an art stream though. I think like art streams are... It's very fun to do them over here. Although I do them on Twitch all the time, I think that doing them here is quite cool. What do you guys think about them? I'm not going to do them regularly over here, don't worry. They'll be coming over here once every now and then. But doing these gaming art streams, I think are a really fun thing. They're really enjoyable. I do have a headache, and I've had a headache all day. So it has impacted my ability to be able to be me, which is good, actually. I've not been able to be super loud and me. So you're welcome. Oh, man, my head. Tonight's going to be a nice night. I think tonight I'm going to have a nice, like, a beer. and just relax. Just relax. You really go on Twitch? Well, I do suggest that you do go on Twitch because obviously Twitch is where I create much of my content. So it's definitely a place where you should be if you want to see my live artwork. And it is where I am pretty well established in the live stream industry now. I can't believe how big my Twitch is, actually. My Twitch is growing at an extremely fast rate. We've been averaging, I mean, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I think it was a couple of days ago. Yeah, I think yesterday was a quiet, no, I didn't stream on art yesterday. Whenever I last streamed. But one of my streams, we averaged around 80 to 90 viewers. So it was an incredibly large stream. And we've been doing fantastic on those streams. So it's been amazing. It's been amazing getting to know everyone. It's been amazing getting to know all the new creators over on... They're not new creators to everyone else, but they are new creators to me. And getting to know them has been fantastic. It's been an amazing experience. I love meeting new people. I love meeting new artists. I think that artists are a really nice group of people. A really lovely group of people, and seeing their perspectives on art and seeing what they enjoy about art and the dreams that they have and the goals that they have versus mine. So I do artwork because I want to inspire other people, and they do artwork because artwork inspires them and makes them feel good. For me, it's not like that. For me, art is a sort of therapy for me. It's just something that I just do. But ooh, oh, that music's nice. Ooh. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit lost in the awesomeness of this. Ooh, it's nice. I like it. Sorry, what's this song? I'm gonna have to give this a heart. I like it. I like it. I'm not a fan of the trumpet coming in there, but I like it. Or saxophone. Right. I got you back into drawing. That's fantastic, guys. And honestly, that's exactly what I want from my career. My career is to inspire. My career is to be here for you and to hopefully guide you and teach you some art tricks. As I say, there are only so many tricks that I can give you because everything is tailored towards me. Whenever I do artwork, I make sure that my things that I do are things that I've established for myself. But if I can pass them on to you and then you take them and you re-establish something for yourself. So the way that I hold my pens, for example, when I do my artwork, the way that I sort my markers as I do it, I think that these sorts of tips would allow you to have a little bit of a perspective on what goes into it. And then you can take that for yourself and build your own way of doing it. I think that's good. I think that works. Similar to how like making YouTube content works, for example. Making content, we definitely are inspired by other people. We look at other people's contents, not necessarily other artists. I don't really look at other artists to get inspired. I look at other creators, so people in different niches and different industries, be they chefs or just videographers in general. I look at them to inspire me for my videos, because if I watch an artist, it's too easy to copy another artist, so I avoid that as best as I can. But when you look at another person's video who doesn't do artwork, you get another perspective of doing things, and what they do doesn't translate into what you do, but at the same time, their skills and the things that they're doing can translate into what you do. So there are caveats to it, and there are ways of turning that into it. And that's what I've been looking into, and that's what I do. But YouTube content, or in terms of not YouTube content, but like videos, has taken a step back now because I'm at peace in what I'm doing in life, and I'm very happy with life. So I want to maintain that by relieving as much stress as possible. So I make my YouTube videos. I still will make like around one every week. So every 7 days, every 7 to 10 days, there'll be a new YouTube video. But it's not something that I'm going to overwork myself on. So I will not reduce the quality and stuff like that. I'm just going to have a very set quality, and I will make my content very consistently in the way that I like. It's very hard to explain to other people who don't know exactly what it is that I'm doing or how I do it. But you won't notice the difference, really. But I will notice the difference, is what I'm saying. I'm sure there'll be comments that come in, and it'll be like, you know, can you do this? Can you do something different? And etc., etc. But that happens no matter what you do. Even when I was at the height of my career, which I should have ignored, and I should have done it when I was doing the coloring book series, I should have continued doing it and ignored the comments of all you do is this, and I allowed that to let my career fall into a shamble. So one of the things that I would say now that I've grown as a creator, I would say never allow comments to discourage you. Let your stats be the dictator when you're making content. On live streams, it's different. On live streams, I allow my community to dictate a lot because live streaming is a very different way of approaching content. But when you're doing like YouTube content, Instagram content, whatever it is you're doing, you should only ever look at your stats and let your stats dictate what it is that you make and how you go about making your content. Never listen to the comments because the negative comments are louder. This is something that you'll come to learn. The negative comments reach you a lot more. When you see, you know, because in general, most people are nice. So you'll see about like 1,000, let's just say you see 1,000 comments of people saying, this looks amazing. But you'll see one that says, this is terrible, why are you still doing it? And you'll see that, and that will be embedded in your mind because that is different. That is a different comment to all of the other positives that you've seen. It would work the same way if you saw nothing but negativity and then you saw one positive. That would be in your mind forever, that positive. So you have to take it all with a pinch of salt and work like that. Why am I not using prime brush markers? Because they're over there. And they're there as well. I gotta get up. I'm not getting up. I'm not moving. Do you know how lazy I am? Like, I'm honestly lazy. I'm not moving. I'm in my comfort zone right here. The Copics were there. They're just sat on my desk. I know this sounds bad, but it's actually the truth. I am incredibly lazy. If something is in my vicinity, if it's right there next to me, I'm going to use it. And that's my approach with art. Like, I often do this. I'll go like, oh, I need to do, let's just say if I need to draw something, I'll go, okay, I've got that pencil, so I use that pencil. This pencil, I use this pencil. And there's a black pencil here, so I use that. It's just whatever is there, I just use. I don't overthink it. And I think that overthinking is what kills an artist's dream and an artist's passion. The moment you're thinking about these things, it just becomes horrible. We're seeing this uptrend, just to discuss this point. We're seeing an uptrend of artists are now treating YouTube content creation as a business. Rightfully so, because it is a business, but it never used to be, one, required to be treated like that, or two, it just wasn't by choice treated like that. So we saw people who were treating art with a passion as opposed to the business model, but now we see it as a business. Now it's a full-fledged business. It is just, I mean, go to your favorite content creators right now without mentioning names and stuff, and I guarantee you their content is repetitive, or their content is very structured in a professional manner to the point where it looks like a Netflix documentary. And that is a result of the changing times. So everyone is now moving on to doing this, and that's their way of doing content. So I think that now we're seeing that, we're losing the heart of what art was. There are still people out there who do maintain it though, and do just do the sketching and do just do the fun. I think live streaming is a great catalyst for that. I think live streaming is fantastic for just having that raw art passion. But as soon as you start overthinking it, it goes and it disappears. And we're seeing it. I do it. My YouTube, for example, is built on being professional and built on being repetitive content and stuff like that. And that's a byproduct of the times that we're living now. It's all changed. But I will say, this has been quite a nice stream. I've actually really enjoyed myself here. And I think that it's been pretty successful. I do apologize that the stream was supposed to be an educational stream. It was supposed to be me talking a lot about the process and the tips and stuff. I think I have done that though. I think that throughout this stream, we have briefly touched on some points. We just haven't been able to dedicate as much as I would have liked to it. That's just the nature of live streaming. Streams go in different directions, and yeah, but I think we have dished out some tips and spoken about professional art and how to be a professional artist. Hopefully you have been enjoying yourself. I'd love your feedback. I would love to know what you guys think about these streams. You like the chatty streams? I do as well. Yeah, I think that chatty streams are really, really nice. I think that they serve a purpose, definitely. And that purpose being to just give people... I tell you what, let's reset the markers. So... yeah, I think that the purpose of... get in there. I forgot what I was talking about. Another video with Jazza. So I don't really want to reach out to people to collaborate. That's where I'm at now. You'll notice that I haven't gone collaborating with people because I'm not gonna contact them. If people want to collaborate with me, I'm totally open to the idea of collaborations, but I don't want to do it. You know, I want to collaborate with them. Don't get me wrong. I want to. But I don't want to reach out because I'd rather just reach out to say, hi, how you doing? As opposed to, hey, let's work together. So that's not my focus. But if they want to, if they see a reason to want to work with me and want to collaborate with me, then I'm totally willing to collaborate with them, and I would love to collaborate with them. But I'm not gonna do that myself. I'm going to allow myself to just be a friend and just communicate with them on a chill basis, on a casual basis, and yeah, it's not a rushing thought for me. It really isn't. I much rather have the friendship anyway, as opposed to the we bounce off of each other for views and stuff like that. I don't like that personally. I love the collaboration ideas and I love doing collaborations, but I want our relationships and our friendships to be just friendships and not reliant on getting views from each other and stuff like that. But definitely open to collaborating with them. Definitely would love to. I just don't want to be the person to reach out right now. You always say my name AC/DC, so that's because of Jazza, right? Yeah, he started that. He whenever he addresses me, or whenever he messages me or emails me, he's just like, yeah, AC/DC. He knows it bugs me, so he does it. Thank you. But no, I do like our creator economy. I love the economy of creators. I love talking to them. I love chatting with them. I love just casually talking, and it means a lot more to me right now. It's just lovely. It's just lovely to be able to say that these guys are friends and to be able to just communicate with them. And hopefully at some point, because I was saying this on my streams the other day, if I go to a convention, if I go to VidCon or if I go to Comic Con or whatever, and I bump into them, I want the interaction to be, oh my God, it's been so long since I've seen you. And it's so happy and it's real. As opposed to, let's get a picture and it's just two creators meeting. I don't want that. That's something I want to avoid in my relationships with creators. So trying my best to be as interactive with them and as cool with them and just, yeah, keep everything real happy and chill. I'm old, I think. I've just gotten older, so I just want like really nice friendships now. Mainly because when I'm old, right? Well, when I'm older and I'm in a retirement home, like I want these guys to come by. Like they're gonna be like my children. Like I want like Jazza to come by and like look after me. He has to make sure that I'm okay in my retirement home. Them's the Why do you keep saying you're old? Do you know how old I am? I am old. I'm on my way out. I'm going. I'll tell you how I know I'm old, right? My milk is always going out of date. I'm just getting so old. It's just always going off. My milk is, every time I look in my fridge, the milk is just older. And I'm like, oh my God, the milk is gone. The milk is done. How long until how many more cartons of milk can I go through before I'm done? That's that's the thing. That's the measurement here. How many more cartons of milk are there left in my life? Plenty of life left in me. Yeah, right. I'm doing alright for my old age. By the way, if you're wondering why I go quiet when I'm doing the little lines, basically when you speak, your body vibrates. So I would say that it's in your best interest to hold your breath, because obviously breathing moves your entire shoulder frame, and when your shoulders move, your arms are going to move. So if you're doing line work or any sort of like sensitive area, I would refrain from breathing for that moment and just hold your breath for that little bit of moment there, or breathe out in one fluid sort of breath, sort of like while you do it. Push the air out as you go. You don't want to be breathing in. You don't want to be lifting your diaphragm and just sort of like raising. I mean, look at my hands. When I breathe, it's like they come off the table. So if I'm doing a line and then that happens, it's just going to throw off the line. So you want to be as precise as you can be with those lines. I think that looks all right. I'm done with that bit. Right, let's move on to the next bit. We're going to move on to the head of Spyro. So we'll get a little sheet out here and we'll go with... that looks fine. By the way, whenever I make my YouTube videos, this is legitimately how I think of my colors. So I just go, that looks fine. And then I just get another one. That looks fine. And that's it. I'm sort of like, that looks fine. All right, that's cool. As long as it's somewhat acceptable, I don't care. There really doesn't have to be a thought process in this. Actually, did I get those the wrong way around? Nah. Nah, this one's warm. I just used that. Okay. But yeah, you don't want to spend too much time thinking about that stuff. Why would you want to? You just want to get on with doing coloring, right? Like, nobody wants to think about what they're doing. So, I'm not thinking. I don't care. Like, if it's the wrong color as well, it makes it different. It gives it a unique appearance and a unique look to it. So, that's fine. I don't know. Being accurate has just never been my thing in life. Being as happy with the process and enjoying it as much as humanly possible. I think this is definitely things that you should value above everything else. And yeah, as you can see here, this pen is squeaking, which means it's either on its way out or the paper is just really bad. But I can't hear because I've got my headset on, so I don't know how long it's been squeaking for. Horrible sound though, isn't it? Squeaky. Squeaky! It's squeaking so much! About 4,000 left. You just sit there and work that out. Right, we'll just do some sort of like a highlight there or something. Cool, so that's good. And there you go, we've already got the base for this thing, whatever it is. I don't know what to call it. The mohawk. That's done. Right, so let's move on to adding some color to that. So we'll add some orange to some areas, which will just add a nice warmth to it. Again, I'm not thinking too much about where I put them. I think that whenever you're doing art, if you're going to make mistakes and if you're going to rush like I draw and like I color, which is I always rush, you want to be consistent. You want to make sure that your mistakes, I actually mentioned this yesterday on my live stream. You want to make sure that it wasn't yesterday, I don't know what day it was, but whenever I live streamed, I mentioned that if you're going to make mistakes, or if you feel like you're going to make mistakes, make consistent mistakes. Make sure that your mistakes are consistent across the board, across the entire piece of the project that you're making. And they'll never be wrong. If they are just the consistent mistake, if they are always the same mistake across every single area that you're doing, then they're never wrong. They're a part of the piece and they add a unique style to that piece. And that's how I work with everything that I do. It's the same thing with my line work. My line variation is a consistent mistake. It's me making the mistakes in the artwork over and over and over again. And doing that all the time across the entire project makes it look like it is a purposeful thing, makes it look like it is part of the art project. It's not. It's a mistake. So just do that. Don't try to be clean. I think being clean and refined is a really bad idea. Unless obviously you're commissioned, unless you're doing these things, I can get that. But when you put pressure on yourself, and unnecessary pressure, to become a perfectionist, to become the perfect artist, one, you don't find your style, and two, you're scared to make moves. You're scared to do anything. You're scared to place things on a canvas, and you're scared to fail. And when you're scared to fail, you will fail. So just let it be. Let it just be whatever the hell it's gonna be. Look at that. It's just whatever. It's just happening. It looks nice. It always looks nice in the end. It just works out. This is why I say I'm not an artist. I am by far no artist. My advice is terrible. But my advice works. And I think that's one of the key things is people disagree with my advice and I get that. But my advice has been shown to yield a positive result. It may not yield a quality result. And I don't care about quality. Quality is not something that I value over my mental well-being. I think that as long as I'm happy, and yeah, my artwork, I can say it with some honesty here, my artwork is pretty good. I do have some decent artwork, so I'm happy with my artwork. But ultimately, I'm happy with my mental state, and I'm happy that I'm enjoying the process of artwork, and I think you should too. What are my other hobbies? I am a gamer through and through. I love gaming. I am passionate about gaming. It is my favorite thing to do, far exceeding artwork. I just love gaming. So that is where you'll find me often, is gaming. I'm obsessed with gaming. We're going to move on to something else here. Let's do some of the purple, maybe? I don't know. Do we have any purple? This is a problem because I don't actually think I do. Are they the same? I feel like these are the same color. I do have some color blindness, so I don't know. Is that the same color? I think that one's darker. I don't know if they're the same color, so I don't really care. Oh, good gosh. Yeah, okay, right. It's cool. That's the good colors that I need. I'll have them. What else should we use? I need another color. I don't know what colors I need. Is that like a pink or something? Like that? What's that? A pale grape. Oh, that sounds sexy. I love that. Pale grape. You're a sexy color. Wait. I forgot which one was the dark one now. Oh, no. Oh, God. See, this is the problem. People don't know that I have problems with colors. I have problems. We can just leave the sentence there. People don't know that I have problems. Okay, that's cool, I think. Do I need a dark color? I don't know if there's a darker color in there. Is there a darker color in there? I don't care. Right. I don't care. Oh my goodness me. I'm the worst artist in the world. Right, so, we're gonna start. Gotta be careful not to put that too close to my face. These things stink. Right, so we're just... What's all this? Grains everywhere. Right. What did that some? Yeah, so it's the paper and the pens that are squeaking. That's a horrible noise. I apologize, guys. So sorry for this. I didn't choose this. It's not my fault. It's Copic's paper. Right, I'm just gonna, like, scribble. All I need to focus on here is just getting a base layer down, so it doesn't really matter too much about being clean, being refined. It's really not that important. So whenever you're doing things like this, don't care. I see a lot of people when they're doing their tutorials and when they're doing lessons, they make their base layers so crisp and smooth. Why? Like, why? I don't get why they're doing it. It's really not necessary. The base layer is probably going to have 7 different layers over it. Although you're using 2 other pens or 3 pens, you're layering, which means you're going to be blending, which means for every time you add a layer, you're using another marker to blend. So that's another, your power to the times of 10 every single time. I wasn't good at maths. That's a lie. I was very good at maths. But anyway, you're, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, you're layering multiple layers on your base layer. So it doesn't matter if the base layer is messy. The base layer can be as messy as you want it to be. Who cares? As long as you just hide the white of the paper and squeak. It is squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. It's all good. So get that over there. What's my favorite? What? I can't see the chat right there. My favorite color? I don't really have a favorite color. Like, I like black. just like black. I mean, it's obvious because it's all I wear. I mean, it was a time when pink and blue together were my favorite colors. My original favorite colors were blue and yellow. So blue has been a consistent theme there. But right now, black's probably my favorite color. I like black, and I just work with that. Like, I like any excuse to use it. Right. Okay, there's the base. So, with the base done, we can... I forgot again. Okay. Alright, this is the order. I can't see the difference between these pens, so I don't know which one's what. This is the difficulty I go through when I'm making my YouTube videos that you guys don't see. Because I can't see color properly. Well, some colors, some shapes. Like reds, I'm terrible. Like this is a perfect example. Right, don't mix them up again. So like, I can see the difference between those two. Now I can see the difference between those. Okay, so these are bad examples. These are incredibly difficult. I don't know if anyone else can see the difference between that. That is a headache to get. I don't know what's darker, I think is my problem here. I don't know what's darker and what's lighter. I can see that they're different colors, but I don't know why they're different colors. I don't understand it. I can't wrap my head around why they're different colors. So I don't know what I'm looking at here. I don't understand what I'm looking at. So I don't know what's the darkest color here. And yeah, this makes it, I can't work with this. Like, I wouldn't be able to do anything with that. I don't know what I could do. The right is darker. Okay. But why is it darker? Like, I don't know why it's darker. I don't know why it's darker. It's just sort of, it's darker. Why? Is there a reason why it's darker? Is it actually darker? I don't know why. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, if I look at certain grays, I know exactly why they're darker. I can see that they're darker. But with something like that, I can't see why it's darker. I don't get why it's darker. There's no... It doesn't look darker to me. It looks like a different color, but it doesn't look darker. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I cannot differentiate it. And it makes it so... Yeah, working with the one color challenge was an absolute nightmare because I couldn't figure out where to place colors and how to line them all up together because I just didn't know. I just didn't know which was the right way to do it. These are terrible colors, by the way. These don't match up at all. Look at this. I don't care, but it just doesn't match up. It is really a motto of mine, though, not to care, right? And I think it's just the way it should be. You just shouldn't care when it comes to artwork. I hope that everyone has got that from my stream. Don't care. Just have fun. It's the same red. It's the same red, just the... Yeah, I don't believe you. Honestly, I don't believe you at that point. I don't believe that was the same. I don't even know. Same red? There's no way they were the same red. See, see, this is the problem with not being able to see it properly. I don't know. But these are difficult because I can't really tell between these pens. I don't know what the difference is here. So this is a struggle. I forgot again. Oh! This is exactly what it's like when I'm making a YouTube video, by the way. I don't know what color's the difference, so I don't know. Okay. Alright, cool. I've got them in the right order at the moment. Everyone's getting to see this now. No! Oh! Everyone's seeing that I struggle. Ah. Okay. Let's do a bit of the mouth action. Yeah, Spyro's mouth. Why not? I like this music. It's lovely music, actually. It's not even just nice. It's lovely. It's beautiful. It's the music that you'd have like in a Spanish restaurant or something. I really like it. Even like in a Greek restaurant, I'd have this music. Oh, it's so good. Sorry guys, getting lost here in the music. It's beautiful. I struggle as well, so embarrassing. Yeah, it's definitely embarrassing for me in my position. So I'm a professional artist, and when I had to tell people in my only using red video, I can't remember if I mentioned it in the blue one as well. I think it was just the red one that I mentioned it. When I had to mention to people that I struggle to see color, it was so embarrassing because suddenly I've just put myself on the platform, and for many years I've been a professional artist, and now people are discovering that I struggle to see some color. And it was just embarrassing for me because I'm in a position of, you know, essentially being an artist. That's my career. It's like turning up and saying, like, you know, I'm a pilot, but I'm afraid of flying. And it's a very difficult thing to... I know it's silly because I can still create artwork. And if I can create good artwork, then I can create good artwork. But I don't know if I'm creating good artwork. That's the problem. And sometimes I make artwork and I don't know if it does look good. I'm just going on instinct. So it's just the artwork. And then some people will be like, this looks good or that looks good, but I don't know if the shadows are correct. I can see the gradient shifts, so I can understand that, but I don't know if the colors are correct in that gradient shift, if you know what I mean. So like, if I have red, light to dark red, I can do light to dark red. Obviously not all the time, but sometimes I can do light to dark reds. And the problem is I don't know if the light to dark that I've gone is the right shade of reds. So now you look at those reds and it might look light to dark, but it just looks weird. It just doesn't look right because it's just different colors. And it's very difficult to put yourself on a platform and be like that and be like, oh yeah, this is I'm a professional, but apparently I'm not very good at it. And it's very difficult to do that. But at the same time, it's not, because I think it gives a little bit more credit to it, because it's like, oh, if the artwork is good in the end, then that's really good because you couldn't see it. So it's like, yay. It's like, you know what I mean? But I don't know, it just felt weird to do it. It felt very weird to say it to people and to tell people in a video. It was very uncomfortable for me, but I was glad to be able to say it in the video. It was natural, so it wasn't like I had to force to say it. I could just say it, but it was still a moment where I was just like, ugh. But everyone was so nice about it, and that was cool. Oh my god, you're still here! I know, Ritu! I live here. This is my home now. This is my place. This is where I belong. I will never leave here. Every day of your life, when you wake up, I will be here watching, waiting for that moment to strike. No, I just... Wow, that was weird! But no, it's... Hi, I'm ADC Art Attack. Slightly strange. How you doing? It's like, I didn't come here for this. This isn't what I signed up for. I forgot what colors I was using now. I've gone the wrong way, I think. Spyro, Spyro, A tip on shadows. Don't you start giving me tips. Don't you start giving me tips. What's the tip? Hold up, I'm gonna check this out. Here we go. Grayscale. It's a good tip. It is a good tip, but when I work with whenever I work with lights, dark, shadows and stuff like that, I don't copy my shadows. This one time I'm doing it here, and I did it for the Mario one, but whenever I do shadows, I do them myself. I have a great understanding of, so basically, I found this out recently. I didn't know that this wasn't common. So I have autism, and with my mind and the way that I think of things in 3D. Now, I know that some other people think in 3D, but I thought 3D was standard. I thought everyone thought in 3D. It's not true. Some people don't actually think in images. Some people think in text. Some people do think in images. Some people think in flat images. Some people have conceptual thought. There's so many different things, but I think in 3D. And I'm able to conceptualize a 3D object, which really helps me with doing the shadings and stuff like that. So I have a really good understanding of shadows and lights and darks. And I never knew this because I've always said to people about how to do lights, dark, shadows and stuff. I always told them that this is how you do it. And I never thought or stopped to consider that people don't think like that. And yeah, it was just a shock to me that that wasn't the norm. I had only found that out recently, that that was actually the case for many people. So yeah, it was very, very, very interesting to find that out and to discover that this way of thinking isn't the norm for everyone. Oh, my headache's still here. Yeah, it's not gone. I still have the headache. It is driving me a little bit right now. It doesn't feel great. But I won't be streaming for too much longer because of the headache. If it wasn't for the headache, I'd be streaming for like... You guys have had me all night long. I just never would leave you. I'd stay forever. I'd just never go. I could never leave you. Stay here and I'd live on your couch. Just sleep on your couch. I would so sleep on your couch. Would you allow me to sleep on your couch? I would sleep on it. I would sleep on it without your permission. It would be the place that I would rest. But no, yeah, I do have a headache and I will be stopping the stream shortly. Because it is very important that I take care of my health, even though I don't really take care of my health. I'm pretty naughty. My health is not taken care of at all. Spyro, Spyro. I don't really have a song for Spyro, actually. Don't know where I was going with that. I'm not answering that. You better answer it. I want to know. I want to know if I can. Da, da, da. Sleep on your sofa. Da, da, da. Right, back to the chat. You're 3 hours into it, am I? Oh gosh, this is what I've done in 3 hours? I should have been finished by now. Yeah, I've just been messing around quite a bit, having a bit of fun, trying to teach you nothing, obviously. And well, I hope you've been enjoying the stream. So lucky to have me here. Just so lucky that I'm taking time out of my precious day. No, I do hope that you've been enjoying the stream, and it's been lovely to be here, and you've all made me feel really, really good. So thank you all so much. Really do appreciate it. And every now and then there will be a stream over here on this channel, of course. We stream over here Quite a bit, though. We do our gaming streams. So if you are new around here and you don't know, I do gaming streams. But the art streams will be, you know, few and far between. We'll have some of them. We'll definitely do that. Squeak, 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 squeak. Squeak, 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 squeak. I don't like the squeaking. It's not very nice. It's very squeaky, if you ask me. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Is it done? I don't know. Dun dun dun. I feel like the chat is just popping off and I'm not even looking right now. Who is your favorite superhero? My dad. No, I don't know. My favorite superhero? I don't really have one, if I'm being honest. Like, there's a lot of characters throughout fiction who I've really liked, and then what constitutes a superhero? So I guess like Goku would probably be the one that I would kind of just say, yeah, maybe Goku, but I don't really have a favorite superhero. There's just superheroes, and I like them. Like Spider-Man, I like Spider-Man, I like Miles Morales, but favorites? I don't know, they're all different reasons. It's really hard to just say if I do have a favorite, unfortunately. I'm complicating everything, I know, but that's just the way I am. Like, I complicate everything. Come on, it's me. I'm strange. Would you have me Would you have me any other way? Speeching isn't my... Speeching? It's getting worse. Speaking isn't my strength. My stutter is so bad. Okay, I have a really bad stutter. I just repeated the same point. That wasn't a stutter. That was just me repeating the same point. I did it again. I just realized. Oh my goodness me. Worst creator ever. Oh, my back. Ah. Ah. I need to shave my head. Dragons or ducks? Ducks. This is ducks. This isn't Jazz's channel. We're not talking about dragons over here. Ducks. Ducks are better. What's wrong with you? Thank you, Jesus. We're having a really nice day. Thank you for blessing us with your presence. How are you? Yes, I know what I did there. Hope you're well today. Am I using the wrong pen? Are you lighter? No, you're darker. Are you darker? Oh, I don't know. Oh my gosh, I'm getting lost here. Am I doing this correct? I don't know if I'm doing this right, guys. I've lost my mind again. It's funny. You never see this in my YouTube videos, but now you're seeing it. I'm a very strange person who doesn't know what he's doing at all. Things just happen around me. Like, the drawing process is literally just the drawing process just happens, it occurs, and somehow at the end of this, there's a piece of artwork. I don't know how, though. It just, there is. It's just there. So, whoever finishes my artwork in my videos, thank you so much, because I would never be able to do it without you. So, whoever you are that sneaks into my room and, you know, just completes this process, you're a real one. Thank you so much. Because I have no idea. This is, look, I don't know what I'm doing. This is the wrong purple for a start, because I don't have the Copics, right? We're going to start the Copic rant here. Copics, I paid like $300 for this set, and it doesn't even have all the pens. It just has like some pens. It's not even the pens. It's just, I don't like it. And they're not even like good colors. They're terrible colors. They look awful. So, yeah, I got scammed. I got set B, basically. I didn't know that I got set B. But I got set B. I thought I hit the jackpot when I saw a really cheap set. Versus, not a cheap set, when I saw a set that was less than the $1,000 that they charge for everyone. I was like, oh, this is awesome, right? I was so excited about it. Anyway, I found out it was set B. It was terrible. So, I'm not happy about it. And I feel like I've been scammed because it's not a good set at all. It's me. Hi. How you doing? Me? How's it going? I don't know if I'm doing good. I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing good. It just looks like something. Just things are happening around. I just don't care. Ah. I might finish this on my Twitch stream though tomorrow. What do you guys think? If you're subscribed to my Twitch channel, then you already know. Well, you don't. I don't know what you know, but you already know. But if you're not subscribed to my Twitch channel or following my Twitch channel, do it because it's like it's so important. Like doing that would make me so. What's that? The pen burst? When? I know. Thanks. I have a dot. I have a dot. Thank you so much. Thank you, Copic. You are the best. Wow. Wow, it's bad enough that I'm using you. Now you're doing this to me? Unbelievable. Right, guys. So, Copic has spat all over my canvas. I love that. So appreciating that. Honestly, like, this brand just wants me to hate it. Like, I don't hate them. I like them a little bit. Then, I don't know. Do I like them a little bit? I can't say that. I don't know if I do. Their pen's all right. They're okay. I'd rather them than out-of-date milk. There you go. I would rather use a Copic than out-of-date milk. So, they're okay. Look, they're making it difficult to love them, is what my mother used to say. Right? So, that's what I'm going to say. Copic, you are making it difficult to love you. That's what you're doing, right? Now go to your room. Oh, no, I'm reliving my childhood. Right? I'm not, no. We're not okay here. I'm not happy with them. They spat on my canvas. I'm not happy. This is a bad time. It's bad enough that I spent I don't have kids, but I spent my kids' college fund on them, right? And now I've got to, come on. I don't like them. No, I do like them. They're okay. Their brush is not as good as they think. Yeah, I said it. I said it. Their brush is average. I said it. I don't care. I said it. I said it. I said it with a big chest, right? Their brush is average. I don't care. No, I don't care. Come at me. No, Copic is good. I like Copic, but I don't like their price points. I think their price points are atrocious in the EU. I don't know about the rest of the world. Like the rest of the world, I know that people like to chime in and tell me that like in Japan, they're like $1 per pen. But that's Japan. I don't live in Japan, so I have to speak about my place where I live. So where I live, I don't like them. In Japan, yes, fantastic deal. And if you can get them for cheap in Japan, go for it. But I have to think about where I live and what I think about the prices from where I can get them. And I don't like them. I think that for their price, they are nowhere near as good as some of the other brands. Not even close. Like Ohuhu gives them a run for their money. And Ohuhu are one of the cheapest brands on the market. So the fact that one of the cheapest brands on the market is putting in work and making you sweat, that's a problem. That's a problem. Because if Ohuhu costs, say $1, right? It costs me $1 per pen for an Ohuhu marker. And if for Copic, it costs me, well, for me, it's like up to $10 per marker. But we'll just go, we'll go lenient here. And the most common price is around $6 to $7. So $6 to $7 for a Copic marker. I can get 6 Ohuhu markers for that price. It's absolutely paramount. They must be superior. They have to be beyond superior. They must be the best markers on the planet. But they're not. They are average. They're okay. And that's not good enough. That is not good enough for a product like that. You must be beyond any reasonable doubt better than your competitor when the prices are like that. Me and Jazza should have a draw-off. Would it depend on what we draw as to who's the better artist? I think if it comes to... Me and Jazza have different skill sets. I think replicating replicating an image, I would beat Jazza. I think that I'm better at replicating something that I see. So if I was to have to do, like, if you gave me realism or something that I can look at and draw it, I would probably do the better one in the end. But I think if we were to do original artwork with character compositions or whatever, I think Jazza would absolutely obliterate me in that instance. Not to say that I can't do original art. I can. But I think that Jazza has a much more creative mind than I do, so I think he would be far superior on that one. So we have very different skill sets, and it's a difference to comparison. But I would never want to compete anyway. I think that we don't need to compete. I think that competing amongst us, because we're not artists at the end of the day. I'm not an artist, certainly. I do artwork in my videos, but I'm an entertainer. And that's what my forte is. I am entertaining people, and my goal is to make sure that you have a lovely time when you watch my videos. And I think Jazz is kind of the same. He's not being an artist. We're not trying to be artists in the sense that we're not trying to produce the best artwork you've ever seen and improve our own skills. We're trying to have a good time, have fun, and give you guys a good ride along. So I think that's the difference, and it's very important that we go into it like that. Me using my favorite markers versus him using Copics. I don't know. I don't know what would happen in that instance. So I mean, my favorite markers... Okay, if I use my favorite markers, then that's something different, because that would be me using Winsor & Newton, so that would be different. If I was using Ohuhu versus him using Copics, he may produce artwork of a far greater quality than me. Because I'm not sure if I'd be able to... I don't know. I'd have to compensate for the difference of styles with those markers. It would depend on what we're doing. It would very much depend. But it would be fun. It would be fun. I never want to be better than someone, though. And I've never looked at it objectively who's a better artist of me and any of my peers. I think that we're all good in our own rights for different things. And I literally have no interest in knowing who's a better artist. I think that we're all better at certain things in general. For example, Ace of Clay, in my opinion, is the best at his craft. So if you take me with markers, Jazza with diorama or his imaginative skills, and then you've got Chloe with her painting. If you took all of us together with our expertise, I think Ace of Clay would be the best with his skill. I think that his one is superior to everyone else's. Oh, bear with me a second. Yeah, I think he is superior to everyone with his particular. Of course, it's very subjective, yes. That's why I say I would never compare. I just think, like, comparing us as artists is just... It's a meaningless thing. I know that for the followers and stuff and the subscribers, it's a fun thing to do. And you guys can do it to your heart's content. But I think that ultimately, there's no real comparison. I think that we're all different in our own rights. We all have different skills. I think that Copic is terrible. I'm getting annoyed with using this. This isn't working out. I'm not a fan of the colors. Like, if I was using my Winsor & Newtons, I would do something way different here. Or if I was using Ohuhu. This is just... Listen to the noise that it's making as well. The squeaky noise. It's kind of annoying. I'll be honest. It's not the most pleasurable experience using these. They do serve a purpose, though, and I do like them when I'm using them for a specific purpose. I love this music so much. It's making me feel things. It's beautiful. I love music that makes me feel. I really do. It's one of my favorite things about sketching fan art. So when I do fan art, I do it because I want to either engage with my audience like you, or I want to just relax at the end of the day. And that's when I'll do fan art. For a YouTube video, I'm doing fan art, but I'm being original with it. So I'm creating my like original poses and whatever for those. But when I'm doing this, it's just a mindless process of art. And I think I might just color in like the entire bridge of the nose. I don't know. Like, oh, what just happened? Are we still live? I think we're still live. My thing just disappeared for a second there. Which is better between Copic, Ohuhu, and Graphic B? Well, the question which is better is going to be dependent on what you are asking specifically. Which is better value? Which is better performance? Which is better performance when you factor in the value? Which is, again, another instance. Like, for example, when we factor in the value, then the best performing markers are Ohuhu, flat out. There is no argument there. Ohuhu are the best markers when we factor in the performance versus the price. They are the best. When we factor in the overall, best, this becomes difficult because all three of them are fairly equal because they each offer differences and different features. Copic definitely of all of them. No, Copic did have the most variety. Ohuhu is now, yeah, there's no reason to really go for one or the other between those two. I think that Copic is going to need to innovate quickly. Excuse me, my belly's going crazy. Copic needs to innovate quickly to stay relevant, or they're gonna fall off. And I'm happy that many people are coming around to this because it puts pressure on a company and a brand to excel and to be better. I don't want to see Copic fail. I think Copic has a really good product, but I think that Copic's pricing needs to be a reality check now. I think that they need to understand that their prices are too competitive in what is now not a competitive market in their price range. You have Copics as a great example in the EU, right? So in the EU, for the most part, Copics are going to cost me around, at the cheapest that I'll realistically find them, the cheapest will be around $5 to $6. That's the cheapest I will find them. Commonly, they're around $8. Now, that's not talking about Chows. Chows have half the ink, and that's why they're so cheap. And yet they're still expensive. They're still more expensive than Winsor & Newton, which have double the ink. So, yeah. But I think that at the price points that Copics are demanding, there is no competitor in their price range because all of their competitors are below their price range. And in terms of quality, their competitors are doing equal to or better than their qualities. And I think the brush on Winsor & Newton is superior. I think it's better. I think that Ohuhu's brush is different. It's not better, but it's better depending on what your uses are for it. Depending on what you need to use it for, it can be better in instances. I don't get this massive sale pitch that Copic's got going on for them, that they're relying on this, our brush is incredible, and that is what we market everything, is our brush is amazing. I think that this is a dangerous game they're playing because your brush is a niche. The brush that you're advertising is just a niche. It's a brush that is suited to a preference. It's, does this person want to use your brush or not? That's all you've got going for you. Your brush is not superior to other brushes. It's a personal preference. So if they're relying on that as their business model going forward, and they think that they can compete with brands like Ohuhu for the foreseeable future by saying that our brush is better, I want to know what makes their brush better. Their brush is a brush, and Ohuhu's brush is a stiff brush. So whose brush is better? Like, I don't get, I don't understand what is their, no worries time. Yeah, I don't understand. Oh, you don't know. Ohuhu has refills now. Ohuhu officially have refills. They are now available. So you can purchase Ohuhu refills if you choose. So yes, I don't know what Copic is really trying to do. I don't know what Copic is thinking of doing, but they need to increase their marketing quickly, rapidly. It is dire at this point because what they need to do is reach out to creators. And I'm talking about creators. I'm talking about not people who are posting pictures. I'm talking about people who can review your product and give you a platform. I'm talking about YouTubers. I'm talking about people who make videos. They need to start reaching out to these people and asking them to help with their reviewing, to help with promotion, because the reliance that they have right now of these, of just doing, you know, artists who just post pictures on Instagram, these aren't explaining to their users why Copic should be used. They're not explaining these things. I'm giving them free advice here, but they're not explaining it. They're just posting a picture and they have Copic in their hashtags or they have Copic in their mentions. This doesn't encourage people to go and buy them. This doesn't make people go, oh, I think I'll try that brand. You need an artist. You need someone who's making videos, not an artist, sorry. You need a content creator who's making videos who can explain your product and tell people and direct them in the right direction. Time! Thank you so much, Time. Appreciate you guys. If you are not sure what's going on there, that is an alert from the Twitch. If you want to jump over to my Twitch, you can do so. It is in the description of this video, and bits and subs are still activated over there because I am streaming on Twitch regularly, 5 days a week, so feel free to go over there. But, yeah, they need to do something. But like for me, for example, and I'll be honest with you and open with you. Thank you so much, Time. Appreciate you so much. If Copic were to message me and say, could we sponsor you? So I would say yes, as transparency here, because I do like their product. I don't think their product is better than other brands. I don't think the product is better than other products, as is being generally said. Right now I wouldn't, because I have a really good relationship with like Ohuhu, for example, and I like promoting their products. So I don't know. I'd have to see what the position would be, because I wouldn't do it for money. It would be for, you know, you guys. It would be for showing you what products to use. It's not really about the finances at that point. So I'd have to decide what I want to do in that instance, if I wanted to take them. But on the whole, anyway, just saying, like, in general, I would take a sponsorship from them. So that should tell you enough about what I think about their products, that I don't think they're necessarily a bad product. I think they're okay. But I think the reliance, like I say, the reliance on this business model of we have the best brush and our brush is incredible, this is so outdated now. This doesn't work. This is not a strong business plan. It's not. And it's quickly going south, because myself, I am obviously an advocate of Ohuhu's brand, and obviously I promote Winsor & Newton as well. There are many artists who have moved over to using Ohuhu because it is a cheaper product. Ohuhu are investing in people and marketing, something that brands like Copic are not doing. They spent all of their money on their product, on their marketing, and they're not reaching out to creators and real people. Arteza was sort of the same. Arteza for the early days was doing what Ohuhu are doing now. They were reaching out to all of the creators and having the creators be their marketing team. This doesn't really happen much anymore. So these brands have got to start realizing the power that content creators have, and that content creators are going to, I mean, I can't say the specifics and the details, but I think we all know that we assisted in putting Ohuhu on the map in a massive way. When I made my videos and we ended up getting like 500,000 views on them and getting these ridiculous views, one of them's got like 1 million views. We put Ohuhu on the map with their new products in a massive way. And they were aware of this. They spoke with me about it, and they're extremely supportive of me. I mean, like, I can't tell you everything, but I can say that I've had early access to various products from Ohuhu, and I've had access to products that they are testing and things that they have released. So they favor me in a very high way, and that comes from you guys, and that shows the power that content creators have in the world of marketing for these brands, specifically in a niche. And doing this, it's making it so that other brands are going to wake up and see this, and other brands have to wake up and see this, because it is so important. We could better their products. We could better, for example, there are things happening behind the scenes for products that I have told, that I have mentioned, and these things are happening because I've said it to them. So there are things that we can do and that we can offer, and that our communities can offer. By the way, just to let you know, full disclaimer here, Ohuhu read our comments. They read the comment sections on the videos. So yeah, that's important to know. Same thing with Printful. Printful have read the comments on our video. So your advice and what you guys comment under my videos actually goes to the brands. So just know that you guys are being heard by the brands. So yeah, it's very important that you do use my comment section to tell the brand what you want. Tell them what you want to see. Criticize the product. Say the positives, say the negatives. Say what you want to say about the brand, because it is seen and it is heard. And like I said, there are things that are coming from these brands that are a result of that, of us talking to them, of them seeing the comment section. And I won't tell you the brands, I won't tell you exactly what's coming, and I won't tell you what has come, but things are changing for some brands, and things have come for some brands that were a direct result of you, of me, in those things. So it's so important. It is so important. And I'm very happy that in our little niche, in the art niche, we are able to communicate ourselves to these brands. And when a brand listens, and this is why I favor Ohuhu so much, because Ohuhu is a brand that listens to me. And when they message me, they ask me questions, and I answer their questions. And these are things that we have a mutual respect between each other. And of course, it's a business relationship, but there's also a personal relationship there. It's a really nice relationship. So these are things that are allowing us to better the product for our consumer, for the market, for you guys, for artists in general, because that's what I care about at the end of the day. I don't care about like, I care about other products, but I don't care about like what a headphone might do for my audience. I care about like what the product that you are going to use might do for the audience. So if it is a headphone, then why is it good for you? What does it offer you? And these are things that are really, really good. Oh, give me free. Wow. You guys are using my comment for that? Wow. Hashtag give Sarah free markers. It's reassuring to know that big companies are willing to listen to their audience. Honestly, Jesus, it is. Honestly, it's fantastic. It's making me giggle. Yeah, so it is fantastic they actually do listen, because they really, really do listen. They really do ask questions as well. I've had them ask me questions, and as I say, I've been able to provide those answers thanks to you guys. And it's telling of a company. It's telling of a company that they leave their what would you say? Their egos? They leave their egos at the door, essentially, when they enter my comment sections, when they enter my DMs or my email. They are extremely, like, they listen. And they say to me, like, I can't tell you the ins and outs of this. I'll tell you this. I've had a company in the past, right? And we're going back a few months. But I had a company in the past. And, again, without saying any specifics, one, I don't want to. There's no NDA or anything like that, but I just don't want to really say specifics. I think it's a little bit better. But they messaged me and they had said, we had a team meeting today and we discussed the points that you mentioned. And then they told me the results of those points. And I was just like, what? Like, what? Like, and it's just like, this company just, they took me just on a fly. I just messaged back and I just said, look, I think that it needs to happen and this needs to change. And they went and had a discussion about it. And that for me, I don't care who you are. I don't care what company it is. That for me is so, that puts you at a high value. Sorry, what the hell am I doing here? I'm just looking at this. Okay. Yeah, that puts you in a really, really high place for me, because that just shows that you do care and that you are not arrogant. You don't have an ego about you, and you're willing to listen to someone who, I guess you would say, I would be the consumer, but I am the expert in my field when it comes to certain things. And they are the expert in, say, the manufacturing process, but I would be the direct link to the audience. You know, a brand could have like millions of sales, but they don't have direct access. The only comments that they hear, usually, are either 5-star reviews that don't really have much worth, or a 1-star review that doesn't have much worth. They don't really have much of a middle ground. They don't have an honest review. They don't have an honest, real-world opinion from someone. And I think that's where we differ, and that's where the comment section comes in. Anyway, I've spoken about that for way too long. Right, you guys really want Sarah to get free markers here. Wow. For your birthday. Yeah, I don't think they're reading the gaming channel. They do actually know. It's funny because Ohuhu actually knows about Sally and Bob, so that's really cool. So they do watch my live streams, because that's the only place that I've really exposed that. So they do know, and I know that I know a couple of the employees that are fans. So there are a couple of them that do watch my stuff. But it's kind of cool that they do know my my characters. It's quite flattering. Because they referenced it. I had an email once and it was like, it was regarding Sally and Bob. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, it was so cute. I was just like, damn, you guys are awesome. They really are. They really are an awesome company. Winsor & Newton or Ohuhu? Well, Winsor & Newton are always going to be the best marker. Like, when we talk about the actual best, Winsor & Newton's inks are far above any other brand. There is no competition. Ohuhu's overall market, overall brush, overall everything about their pens is fantastic. But I've got confused again. But they're not going to compete against Winsor & Newton's. I think I'm on the right one. Yeah, they're not going to compete with Winsor & Newton's inks. It just wouldn't be possible. And I think we can accept that, because Winsor & Newton, you know, they have several hundred years or something of development. They use the finest quality materials. They're a massive industry. They are absolutely huge. I don't think that the markers are profitable for them. I'm not sure. But it would make sense that they wouldn't be, because they do sell the markers really cheap. And They don't seem to be investing anything into their markers. I've never seen them really promote them. Now and then they talk about like the watercolor markers or something, but they're not really big on mentioning their markers. So I would presume that the markers aren't a massive profit for them. And obviously their main focus is their paints, which they are very much known for, their pigments and things. So that's understandable, but they're already at the top. They're already there. And to knock them down, like, I just don't see it happening. I don't see a single company ever, like, and I mean ever, taking Winsor & Newton's ink qualities out. I just don't see it. I don't think it's even possible. I just really don't think it's possible. Unless a company like Data Rowney or, I don't know, what's a Karen Dash something? I don't know. Unless one of these companies come out that are like super big art brands, unless they come out and try and do it, I just don't know. I really don't see it happening. I really don't. And I'm okay with that because I don't think it needs to happen. I don't think that there is a point to it. Like, while Winsor & Newton have the best looking quality, I don't think they're the best. Like, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't use them for comic book artwork. If I was doing realism like this, I'd probably use Winsor & Newton for this. If I actually really wanted to go for this, I'd use Winsor & Newton. I'm just using Copics for the fun of it, and I hate it. They're not actually doing it for me. But I would use like Ohuhu for this now, I think. But Winsor & Newton would serve this fantastically well. But if I was doing it the way like of doing like a cartoon or something, then Ohuhu all day long. It wouldn't even be close. I would never, ever go for Winsor & Newton for that. It is very late though, guys, so I think I'm actually gonna stop. I think now is the time. It's a weird time to stop, I know, but it is 9 p.m. for me. It is super late, and I do hope that everyone had themselves a wonderful time here on the stream. It was obviously a very different stream. It was supposed to be a lot more of an educational tutorial thing. It got more into a bit of a discussion and topics about varying things of artwork, but we did talk about how to do this, and hopefully anyone watching this as a playback isn't disappointed. Yeah, hopefully you guys had a good time, and I will catch you all in the, I don't know, Twitch live streams. You'll have to catch me over there, or you can catch me on my next live stream here on my gaming channel, which will happen very soon, maybe tomorrow. I don't know just yet. But guys, take it easy, have a wonderful night, and I will catch you all soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye, everyone.